And welcome, family. Welcome, Black again. Brother Ron, tell a friend. We are back on We All Be in it to win it. News free Dixie for the 21st century. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Brother Ron, also known as R2C2H2, the artist. And we are here. And it's been a great, grand, fantabulous time in Magaland, at least for me. A lot of people crying tears, crying rivers on social media. A lot of folks angry, upset at blame black men. Everybody hates black men, it seems, allegedly, supposedly. It's our fault. Whoa, it ain't my fault, to be honest. But at the same time, I think it's very important that we have these type of spaces where people can talk and express themselves. And we believe in people expressing themselves. We believe in people standing on their truths. And we also believe in having dialogue. We can all agree to disagree and still be respectful at the same time. You don't have to call people names for having a different point of view. Baba Dick Gregory used to tell me when the universal God or the universe chooses you to put magic glasses on you, you can't force or make anybody see what you see. And it's not about that. It's about you being comfortable in your own skin. It's about you actually not looking for people to validate your truths. Don't look outside yourself for truth. Trusting your instincts and intuitions. 2024 has been a big reveal for a lot of people. Cat Williams kicked it off as the leadoff hitter. He's like the Ricky Henderson of truth telling. I love baseball back in the day, and Ricky Henderson is arguably the greatest leadoff hitter, base stealer in baseball history. And he played for several different teams. Just a caliber championship player, a real, hustle and flow, grit and grind type of player. And Cat Williams, he told it like it was, like a TI is. He didn't care who feelings he hurt. The truth is what the truth is, and the truth needs no approval. So with that said, we're gonna let people speak their truths tonight. I really reached out to particularly black men because in black men we're like the poster child for everything wrong in society. Like everything you could think of that's wrong or dysfunctional in society, there's a black male face attached to it. It seems like with brother Eddie Griffin, Eddie Griffith, right? The comedian. I think I said Eddie Griffith. I think I said his name correctly. He talked about every great black man in history has an asterisk by their name. Like you just can't be great. Like you think about Dr. Bill Cosby, you think about Tupac, you think about Barry Bonds, you think about Michael Jordan. They're great, but they're great, but they're human, right? So with that said, we're going to kick it off. Got two interesting guests on right now. Coming to the stage is the Counselor Gavin Rashard. How you doing tonight, sir? It's Gavin. Let me
Good
see.
evening.
How you doing? And also got I guess you pro, well you did the MAGA thing this time around. And also I want to have on another guest. Nick, there. There you what's going on? You going to Mars with Elon Musk? What's going on there, buddy? Dominique.
You said what? What's going on?
Yeah, what you got going on? You got like staticky. You a freak off or something? What is it? A Diddy party going? What's going on back there, man?
No,
You
I'm at
got
work
y'all
actually.
staticky. Huh?
No, I'm at work. I'm at work right now.
All right, cool. It's good to have you on,
That's
brother.
Diddy's
How you doing?
vibrator. It kicked in.
It's get there. All right, brother Dominique, we got you on, man, because we had an interesting dialogue. And happy belated birthday, too. I know you're a Scorpio. I hope
Oh,
you had a
thank you,
great
thank you,
birthday,
thank
man.
you.
Yeah, we've been knowing each other for a minute, man. But I want you on here to say your point of view as well. And also, we got the one and only brother King BJ. What's up, man? Been a minute, man.
Hey,
Been a
how you
long
doing,
time.
sir?
What's
I'm
going on,
good, man.
Bernard?
What's up, Gavin? Hey,
So we're
man.
gonna kick it off.
I,
We're
mean,
gonna
I
kick it
kind of
off.
feel like I feel like people on life support or something, man. You know what I mean, man?
Man, we the cut. A lot of people, you look at your timeline or whether your news feed or whatever you call it on Facebook, on Snitchbook, and on Insta-fed, people crying tears and stuff. I mean, I think I ain't gonna be able to go to a black church or date a black woman for a couple of months now. That's what it's looking like. You know, it's
Ricky
really
Smiley was depressed.
depressed. He's rich. He's a millionaire, right?
Ricky Smiley was depressed. Steve Harvey. Did you hear Steve Harvey this morning?
Tell me about it. Tell us about it.
Steve Harvey at the end of his show, he was talking. I purposely listened to him, so let me get his voice right. He said, if y'all think this man coming on a white horse to come and save y'all ass, you Christians, us Christians, see, we're gonna be all right. But y'all got another thing coming. This man ain't gonna do nothing but for his damn self. Now, this is the same Steve. This is Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, and D.L. Hughley. You know that they're all Omega Psi Phi. But you also know Ricky Smiley did an interview with Shannon Sharp, and he talked about how both D.L. Hughley, and Steve Harvey actually, like, they have the same agendas and they actually talk with each other. So by that, I mean, is what he was saying essentially is what they do, even though they work for rival radio companies. I think one is Steve Harvey, I believe, is with I think it's Urban One or Radio One. Okay. And Ricky Smiley has another one, and I think D.L. Hughley is part of the same networks that Ricky Smiley is. I could be wrong. But they work together and share information. They share information. They basically have an agenda. They have a platform. And, you know, it's like what Umar Johnson said. They're trying to pay these men. They paid these people to come out, like Plies and a lot of these other people to come out and say something. And the bottom line is black men are rejecting the fact that you're putting rappers and entertainers up here instead of intellectual men trying to give us something or tangibles in which we to vote for you. You have to put forth a platform, Ron. When you're trying to when you're trying to attract voters, it's like it's like running a business. You make your money as a business by the customers, and you work in the public. Remember, the customer. What's the saying they have? The customer's always right. Why do they say that? Because they want the customer to keep buying stuff. That's why they do that. The Democrats have not didn't do that with black people. They patronize them. They send Barack Obama out, who for years, even when he was president, he patronized black men when he was the president, when he spoke at Morehouse College. And he told those black men, gave them a rising tides, lifts all boats speech and pull up by your bootstraps. And the problem with when you're talking about black men, and this is what Steve Harvey and these others don't get, they are out of touch with reality. These are multimillionaires. You know, they don't live the life like you and I, where we got to work every day to try and make an ends meet. And they're not relating to us. They're talking down to us. And it's not going to work anymore. You're not going to get me to come and vote for you by telling me your ancestors fought for the right to vote, or you better do this, or you fearmonger. That shit don't work no more. And that's what that proved yesterday. And you look at it, they're blaming black men for this. Good. You want to know why? Because maybe you're going to start paying attention to me.
Right.
And even though we're not the majority in this country, they want to blame black men. So it shows it's good, because it also shows how out of touch they are too, because they fail to realize that black men, number one, aren't even a majority in this country. Latinos voted at 45% for Donald Trump. The white women stood by their man. So obviously abortion was not an issue. So they're just, so frankly, it's a wake-up call. And the Democrats just got to do better. They didn't learn from Hillary Clinton, and now they've paying the price with Donald Trump this morning again, with Kamala Harris.
Hey, brother King BJ, got anything to add to that?
Well, let me say something. I got something big to say here. It's kind of wild because people have been asking me the question. I said, well, personally, you gotta understand. In 2016, kind of funny. Donald Trump donated $5,000 Kamala Harris campaign. Both of them kind of backed by Benjamin Netanyahu. So you got the quote-unquote small head relevance there. So both of them support Israel. But when I looked at it, it's going to be the end of the patriarchy. I mean, the matriarchy. That's how I looked at it. Because in a bigger sense, because They just came out and told you it's a lie, though. They told you 86% of black people voted for Harris. But if you realize something was a little odd because they said Joe Biden got 81 million votes and she only got 66 last time I checked. That's a 15 million vote difference, even though we know what happened in 2020. You know, everything shut down. You could just bring stuff. But last night, when they showed you,
They had mail-in ballots.
they showed you last night on MSNBC, which proved everything we said in 2020. Donald Trump was up by 100,000 votes. They came in with a truck, showed the people actually going in and say that's 50,000 ballots coming in, another 37,000 be back by, I think, by 3 in the morning. And I said, well, that's still, if he's up 100,000 votes, that's still not enough. And then they called, because Georgia really had been called at 10 o'clock. Let's say this. The imperative media, which is us, I know alternative, all that nonsense. CNN and them, they were just waiting. They were just happy waiting. This stuff is already over. I mean,
Yeah.
I live in Virginia. Georgia in nothing but 8 hours, right? So that means that I'm in the same time zone. You live in Louisiana, right?
That's central, right?
That's 7 o'clock, right? Same thing in Memphis, right? Or is that, are you 2 hours ahead of one? No, one.
No Central Time. Yeah.
I'm 1 hour behind you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all those polls that closed, whether at 8 o'clock here would have been 7 o'clock in Louisiana. So you had to know. Then in Pennsylvania, that's only 5 hours from you. Let some areas even 4. I'm like, so why are they holding it? But when Kamala Harris said at 12 o'clock, told their supporters to go home and we're going to get back to you at 3 in the morning, you know, we won't know the result 3 in the morning. That's how I knew. And that was a real snake move they did because you didn't even come out and address your supporters until the day during a concession speech. They want them for 15 and 20 minutes. That let me know that this was real.
Well, if I could just add real quickly, they knew we were covering it last night, Dana and I, as well as Queen. I went on Queen Shakur's show as well, and you could actually see they were not trying to call Georgia, but Georgia had 95% of the votes in, and Trump was ahead by 200,000 votes or more. So there was no way Kamala Harris, even if they counted the rest of that percentage, she was going to catch up. So they were wondering, we were asking, and Dana was asking, and this was close to midnight, why haven't they called Georgia? Same thing with Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania turned red. Michigan and Wisconsin was red. They were really trying not to say he won because it was going to destroy the narrative that they were pushing. And they wanted, obviously, so bad not to, because, they were all calling it, saying Kamala Harris has a pathway to victory. She's this candidate. I had people saying, I told people before the ballots were cast, I said, he's going to win by a landslide. And she's like, don't say that. Don't you be saying that. I was like, okay. I'm a political science major. I can read the way that the environment, especially the political environment, has changed.
Yeah. I mean, all you got to do is look, because when it first started, I mean, you had Trump up somewhere like 150, like the 50 percentile or 70. So he was up by such a big lead earlier. I said, and then here's the big deal. And I want them to, they can blame black men all they want. Al Sharpton calling you misogynist and all this other nonsense. And the other part of misogyny. Let me tell you something.
Where's your church, Al?
They're lying because a lot of people did not come to vote. Democrats did not even come out to vote, even here in Richmond. And we did get a moderate Democrat mayor. And we got a casino in Petersburg, Virginia, which is about 25 minutes away. They voted 81% for a casino. But for a lot of people didn't even come out to vote. It said 20% of black men or 25% of black men in Georgia voted for Trump. But if you got to look at the numbers, really, even women did it. I mean, and then a lot of people just said they won't even come in. So the people you talk about, the Hispanics, parents, white men, white women, and I want to say something, the Amish in Pennsylvania and also in Dearborn, Michigan, those Muslims as well. So it's a whole lot of people you could be. But they just gonna say, oh, you know. But Joy Reid did say it wasn't us, but then she said that Florida was a right wing fascist state forever or something like that. So just what Joy Reid said.
Well, I'm gonna ask Dominique. Dominique, are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Dominique?
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Now he's a Kamala Harris supporter. He actually voted for Kamala. It was a tough day for him today, and I want to get his perspective. He heard everybody for the most part. Y'all gave y'all 2 cents, but this is a black man who had his birthday the other day. Belated birthday greetings to you, sir. And we're going back and forth really on the DMs and the Facebook thing. So I just want to give a chance for him to give his perspective on how he felt about what occurred and his thoughts about black men voting for Trump.
I mean, I was angry by the fact that she lost yesterday. Me personally, I did vote for her, but I mean, I think she had a lot of great things on the agenda for America, and that's why I voted for her. And then I heard about the whole Project 2025 with Donald Trump, so that's what turned me away from him.
Okay, so let me ask you this: do you feel like that, because you're not the only person that feels like that? I got people like clergy, academics, black women. They all very upset with the outcome of this situation. Some of them are in depression right now. So I'm not
Right.
making light of people's feelings about this, but at the same time, what was interesting when I told people that I was voting for Trump, the disrespect I had to endure, calling me out my names, disrespecting me, questioning my character, never met me before in real life, don't know my history, don't know my story, don't know my glory. And I never, even if Trump lost yesterday, I would not go as far as disrespect anybody because they had a different point of view as me. But I encountered that with the so-called Democratic people and the Kamala supporters, whether it be young or old. Did you encounter any problem with Trump supporters disrespecting you?
No, I haven't. So far I
Oh,
have not.
really? Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
It's
But
just
he's the guy
been
that's the hate monger, right? He's the hate monger. But yet, people have disrespected me. I had my own preacher that baptized me. He unfriended me on Facebook twice. And he was talking, he had disparaging remarks about Trump supporters, how we was ignorant and stuff like that, which I think is fascinating because I'll never call somebody ignorant for him a different point of view as me, unless you disrespect me in some type of way. But even his daughter has went to as so far as to say that anybody vote for Trump, I'm blocking and unfriending you. And this is a preacher's daughter. And this is the guy that baptized me. And I got church people I know, ministers, they have emergency prayer sessions online on Facebook and stuff. It's really ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Like, I'm made to be an outcast or felt to be an outcast. And my thing is with black people, we don't know what's good for us because if Malcolm X was walking the earth today, November 10th will be the anniversary of the Message to the Grassroots speech, which I think is the most brilliant speeches in American history. He broke down why black folks should not be so beholden to the Democratic plantation. He named the name of Joe Biden's mentors in the Democratic Party. He talked about anybody that vote for these Democrats, they're a traitor, they're a chump to their race. This is back in 1963. He did a very scathing critique of the March on Washington, which he called the farce on Washington. And for people to be quoting Malcolm X in support of Kamala is fascinating to me. Because I saw a minister say, Malcolm said anything south of Canada is the deep south. And I say anything south of Canada is Mississippi. I think Malcolm said that too. But Malcolm would not be in the defense of Kamala Harris or the Democratic Party, as far as I'm concerned. And he was not respected by a lot of black people while he was living, which is interesting to me. Like, we want to make him like, oh, he's a great martyr. We love him. We hated Malcolm when he was alive. A lot of us did. That's like we hated King. A lot of clergy hated King.
Dr. King had to fight the elders in church before he passed, especially when he did that speech where he was opposed to the Vietnam War.
At Riverside Church, yeah.
At Riverside Church, right. And that was
April
a year
4th,
before he
67.
died.
April 4th,
And
67.
right. The elders are, a lot of the elders, let's be real, they have a hard time stepping down from leadership. And the church, I saw, since you mentioned that, there was a pastor in Alabama who said any black person that votes for Trump is an ignorant Negro. I wonder what he's got to say now, because how did that work for them with vote shaming? How does that actually help you by telling somebody you're trying to convince people to vote? Wait, but then by insulting them. If I was a person sitting in that church and he said that, I would not only just vote, get out of that church, I hope his 501c3 status should be stricken because you're now trying to engage in political rhetoric, trying to get people to vote your way. And I just want to say what the brother addressed earlier about Project 2025. Just to clarify, from my research, that was written by the Heritage Foundation, which is a think. The Heritage Foundation back in 2008 endorsed Barack Obama for president, if I'm not mistaken. And Trump he did denounce the Project 2025, saying he had nothing to do with it. Now, whether you believe him or not, that's another thing that's up to individuals. He's got to, hey, look, every elected official, whether they're Republican or Democrat, got to be held accountable for their actions. So I'm 100% with that. But I think that this should be a message, especially for Black men, that you can't take us for granted anymore. And I feel the Democrats failed, first off, to get a campaign going, Brother Ron. She should have, she started with less than 100 days. That was messed up. That's not going to work. If you're campaigning, the campaign for Donald Trump had 3.5 years to campaign. He had technically 3.5 years to campaign because the people were upset about what happened in 2020. They had the insurrection on January 6th. And then on top of that, you have from that point on to the point where they're filing these charges against him, which some people question the legality of it. They're being challenged, whatever. He's attracting more people. The national media also is out of touch because they propped it up, Kamala Harris, as this darling figure and they sanitized her history as an attorney general, as a prosecutor. They try to ignore that. That BET summit, that was a joke that they had. And Ben Crump even getting on there talking about being a prosecutor. You got to have people work inside the system. Ben Crump, mushmouth. I met Ben Crump. He was a nice guy, but
yeah, he was a nice guy.
He was a nice guy, but that Negro was full of it. I got it. He was real. Come on. I got to say this. You said something like that, and I know he knows her history as an attorney general. He knows she got sued she was ordered by the federal courts to release people because she wouldn't release them past their dates. She got sued for it. This is documented. Nobody mentioned that. They talked about the marijuana stuff. They didn't mention the truancy stuff that she did. Mm-hmm. We got to call it for what it is.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah, guy, think Frank or XX Frank say backstage and maybe Shaq. I'm not sure, but I know one of them backstage.
Okay. I got a couple people backstage, but I want to talk to Black men. But Dominique, have you ever heard of a guy named George Soros? Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Yeah, I guess he kind of ran. He at work, so I need him. I'll talk to him, but I want him to check out George Soros. I think it's very interesting because, like, a lot of our people, they don't have access to the right type of information. They got smartphones. You got phone information available at your fingertips, but you don't have access to things because we're not taught to be critical thinkers. They do that by design. They don't teach you civics. So you're supposed to vote and don't know the 3 branches of government and stuff like that, and how many people are in Congress, how many senators, how many congressional representatives. So they really don't trust us. That's why they got the electoral college. They got the popular vote, and then they got the vote that they can actually control and select who they're gonna give these votes to. And we got to have a discourse on that. But I wanted to bring him on to show the difference because I have been disrespected by people I thought were my friends and colleagues, and well as strangers, because I have voted for Trump 3 times straight. I'm not new to this thing. I have voted for him 3 times straight, and I believe with Trump is he's an honest broker. He's like what Dave Chappelle say, an honest liar. He's not really lying. He's just exaggerate. He's a showman. but a lot of stuff has truth to what he says. It's like even when I remember that debate back in 2016, I think, and he was on the stage with Ted Cruz, and he said, "Well, your dad helped kill Kennedy," and people said, "Well, Trump is lying. What the hell wrong with him?" But guess what? There's a picture of Ted Cruz daddy next to Lee Harvey Oswald down in New Orleans for the Fair Play for Cuba Committee. So I mean, if people say, "Well, Lee Harvey Oswald killed Kennedy," hell, Ted Cruz daddy's standing right next to Lee Harvey Oswald. They were colleagues. And with that said, we got a couple of people backstage. A lot of brothers back here. I see Frank Nitty, and I see brother Chad Factor. How you doing?
How you doing, man? Just got back from work. How are you doing?
How you working black men? I thought we were lazy. We want the immigrants to take our jobs.
Now, the gentleman above me, Mr. Gavin, is that your name?
Gavin, yes, Richard.
Thank you for mentioning that she was sued by the federal courts and not releasing people. A lot of people didn't realize that. I almost forgot about that. Thank you for mentioning that, because you guys all need to watch Roland Martin's perspective on this, because it's a clown show.
Polio is coming back. We got this fool. We got this fool, Robert Kennedy. He's crazy. He's crazy.
The pork and the pig.
Mr. Trump not gonna fit. We're gonna lose incentive. So I can't get my neck fixed. I can't get a new neck. You stupid ass fools. That's all, folks.
All right, that's excellent. All right,
This
Dominique,
right here already. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Hey, Dominique, you there? Yeah, Dominique.
And how you doing, Mr. King, BJ?
How you doing, sir?
Doing well.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like I said, you can't keep shaming me to vote for a woman that had the federal courts push them. Okay. You can't shame me into doing this, because I mean, not only your history, but you're saying the only reason I can do it because I'm sexist. The only reason I can do, which is not true. I voted for Jo Jorgensen, who's a libertarian woman, in 2020. So I don't mind women in power, but I want capable people in power. You know, and she's not capable. She wasn't.
Right. She just wasn't a good candidate. I voted for Cynthia McKinney, and I voted for Jill Stein in the past. And I think Cynthia McKinney, she would have been a great president. She was mistreated by her constituents in the Democratic Party. She fought for reopening Dr. King's assassination. She fought for victims of Hurricane Katrina, especially people from New Orleans, with the right to return. And also, she also fought with 9/11 truth. So she was just mistreated. The Democratic Party that we had, gentlemen from the 1990s, that we saw, that was full of, even though their history, of course, we know was tied with slavery, but still, when we was coming up, that was the party for the working man. It's not that anymore. It's for the rainbow man, if you dig my meaning.
The rainbow man, transgender man, soft man, women, pedophiles now, because they're becoming more pro-pedophile now. So,
okay, we're gonna add brother Frank Nitty. You there?
What's up, Frank?
What up?
Simon, Frank. I know you simple
brothers. How y'all doing?
Oh, good, man. How you doing, sir?
Just chilling, man. Just chilling.
Are you out in Cali, right? You in Cali?
Yes, sir.
So how's it out there right now, post selection 2024?
You know what? It was windy. I'm gonna turn my cam on. It. What's going on? How you doing? Yeah, but it was windy. It was real windy.
Nice place, Frank.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna play on that grand later. I'm gonna jump on that grand later. You know what I mean?
I heard that.
The party's over.
No, but you know, Cali, man, she didn't even get 50% of the state. You know what I'm saying? That looks bad, and that lets you know how California was voting. And I don't want to hear nothing about no black men, because you know we're not even we don't even have we're like 6% of California, so I don't want to hear that. You see what I'm saying? The numbers and the data and all that won't line up to that with that nonsense. You see what I'm saying? Oh yeah. BJ, what everybody, how y'all doing though? Chilling. Oh
Doing
yeah,
well.
man. But I
I'm gonna
mean,
show this.
she got what the other one was Baltimore. I think she got like what over 50%. So
Well, she
I mean,
won Maryland, she won
She won
Cali,
or Maryland, excuse me,
Yeah.
Maryland.
But she
and
didn't have
Virginia.
struggled winning New Jersey, which was a shocker for everybody. She couldn't get double digits there.
Now, Cali, she got about 57% according to this, and Donald Trump got 40%. But Reagan messed up Cali for Republicans, though. He messed that up. It's going to be Democrat for a long time, just like New York and other places like that. That's really.
I think Schwarzenegger kind of did too, though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Him when he got in here too, that made it even worse. You know, these people know what they're doing. And see, that's the thing. That's why I say it's Democrat or Republican and Republican. It's like a dual consensus. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to certain policies,
And we love you too.
or them look or lack of policies. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I noticed. It'd be a dual effort, man. Like for example, you know, Reagan did the amnesty bill in '86. Yeah, that led a lot of immigrants over here too. A lot of people don't know about that.
They will mess up Cali though. That's the genesis of all that. That's why California is permanent
amnesty. He went against legalizing machine guns. He put crack in the areas of a lot of people.
Okay, Dominique, you got anything to add, man? You got a lot of staticky stuff going on. I know you at work. You got anything you want to say?
Factory plant. He's showing us where he works.
Yeah, these are working black men. These are black jobs, people. Black men do work in this country still. We got black jobs. Dominique is doing a black job, but yeah, okay.
Frank, how dare you?
I mean, honestly,
how dare you try to blame me for California? You know, I was the best governor. I'm the governor. It's not my fault. You must be a Stallone fan. You're a choir boy, a fucking choir boy.
And the crazy thing about it is he messed up. See, for example, he did a lot of bad to these college campuses.
The reason my show football was canceled. Yeah.
He extended to. He made tuition higher, hiked tuition. For example, just like kind of like with you know, so he did that on that aspect, just like with in the Biden, the Obama administration with what's his name? What's the dude's name? Rahm Emanuel Rahm Emanuel when he closed down the schools. So I mean, they know, you know, when you're doing a strategic effort like closing down a certain amount of schools, and then there you have it, lo and behold, 2023, 2024. Them same schools are used as shelters for migrants. It just lets you know, really. I mean, come on, what's really going on? Yeah. Like I think they do plan. They'll make plans, and then they'll calculate them in the future slowly but surely. Yeah, I mean, the government is strategic. You know, I just like the way he whooped on her yesterday, though.
Landslide.
I love the excuses. I love how he whooped on her. I love the excuses, man. And you know, these people talking about black men. Yeah, you know what? That's good. Yeah, I could take that. Black men could take that.
Black men voted 23% for Trump. 23%.
I'm sorry, Chad. I'm saying, was it even close to y'all?
No, it was a blowout.
No, I said it was a landslide. I said it was going to be a landslide, and people said no. It wasn't. The minute I saw Georgia go red, I was like, "That's it.
That's it." Yeah.
He's gonna get over 300 electoral votes, and also he got over 70-something million votes altogether. But you know, they 2020 that was rigged, but it's hard to prove. It's like Denzel said in Training Day: it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And it's hard to prove it because they did it so slick. But the thing about it is, what people don't understand the genius of what happened. This was the greatest presidential campaign of all time, and the reason why Trump was able to win it outright was because Elon Musk had control of what used to be known as Twitter. He had X. He had a platform to get out counter narratives. He could counter punch what the mainstream legacy media was doing, and it kept the process transparent, more so and honest. I remember looking at one of these morning shows where Pennsylvania said we ain't gonna be able to call it until a couple of days from now. They called it at night.
CBS.
Right, they called it. But I remember Baba Dick Gregory talked about in '68 when he ran for president. They gave him 9 million votes from Pennsylvania. And then they said we made a mistake. It was an error. It's possible that Dick Gregory could have won the 6-state election. We'll never know because the voting, they cheat on both sides. It's not just the Democrats be cheating. Republicans cheat. They all cheat. Sure. It's like if you're not cheating, you're not trying. In baseball, If you, it's all about cheating. Like Joe Kennedy said, it's not a crime unless you get caught. So both sides cheat, but at the same time, is how they try to deny the will of the people. Imagine if Twitter allowed for that Hunter Biden laptop story to circulate like it should have been circulated. You know, and then you can't convince me that Biden got 81 million votes when he couldn't get 81 people to come to a rally at a drive-thru. Okay. Got a lot of dead people voting in these elections. But anyway, go ahead, gentlemen.
They had mail-in ballots at that time in 2020 because of the pandemic, and they couldn't do that. I mean, you always had mail-in ballots, but obviously now we're in 2024. The pandemic's over. You can't do that. There's many absentee ballots on mail-in ballots like they did. But yeah, like I said again, I knew just the direction, the way this country is going, and not just the presidency. They got control of the Senate. So now you have a unified. You got
they got control of the House. That's official that they do have control of the House.
I think it's still up for grabs from what I read, but but here's the thing: even if they don't have control of the House, anything goes to the Senate, they're gonna stop or they're gonna pass. If it's for the Republicans, they're gonna pass it, which means they have like the first unified majority, I think, since George Bush was president. I'm talking about George W. Bush. So that was in 2000. So you're talking about a 24-year difference. The country right now has changed because people are tired of, I think, this mass immigration that they're seeing people come in illegally. I also think the rainbow agenda, a lot of people have been frustrated with that, particular with women's sports, allowing that. And Kamala Harris, she said out of her own mouth, she was in favor, especially of surgery for transgender inmates to get the surgery done. Well, guess who's paying for that? We are.
Right.
Nobody wants. And reality is, a lot of people are tired of having the. And I'm just being real. That agenda forced down their throat. Like I don't like cartoons and stuff showing it, movies, TV shows. A lot of people, I think, culturally, it's a pushback.
I want to play. Speaking, I mean, you made perfect timing, counselor. I want to play this clip from this sister that I saw within the last hour or two. I think is very impactful and powerful to hear this from this black woman who's very much what they would call woke, but she's woke. You know what I'm saying? Wake the woke up. You know, that's what she is. But I want to play what she said about why she lost. And I think it's very intriguing.
Why she lost? I'm gonna tell you why she lost. The Democratic Party literally had the worst marketing strategy in history. Like, I saw this loss coming like a mile away. He's racist. He's racist. He's racist. Your candidate is a woman. This country's far more sexist than racist. Far more. So there's that group of people that are just automatically gonna vote the other way. Then you lost the plot completely with black people. I haven't seen pandering this tacky since Hillary Clinton pulled that hot sauce out of her bag. You had Joe Biden on his first campaign talking about if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. Who the fuck? Kamala done turned her freaking rallies into the BET Awards. You got Meg Thee Stallion twerking on stage, Glorilla on stage bleeping out every other word of her song because she can't even rap her actual lyrics. Then completely lost the plot with women. You got penises swinging around kids' locker rooms and women's locker rooms. People who identified as a man yesterday and identify as a woman today are whooping women's asses in sports. Women having to encounter penises and testosterone in situations that were once sacred to them. Add that to the fact that y'all originally showed up with the same candidate who we watched falling all over himself in the street, slurring his words and losing his train of thought mid fucking press conference. And y'all still picked him, although y'all had Kamala as vice president at the time, which means even y'all knew she wasn't going to win this. But y'all threw her in the game fourth quarter anyway. Then you got the everyday Democrat thinking they could bully people into voting their way, which is actually turning people off and running people out of the party. Mind you, election happened while everybody's hungry and broke. Rent was just due. Mortgages was just due. It's after the first, and we've been under this leadership for 4 years, so it feels like it's because of them. Then the Republicans keep stopping us. We can't get anything done because Republicans keep stopping us. So what's the point of voting for you if you can't get nothing done? Y'all gave Donald Trump a freaking Supreme Court seat when y'all let Ruth Bader Ginsburg die at damn near 100 years old in the freaking Supreme Court. It's very, very clear the Democratic Party has just been raw dogging it through life for a minute. Mind you, I voted Democrat for 16 years straight since Barack Obama's first presidency, but I knew how this was gonna go. And she ain't just lose, she got her ass whooped. I'm talking about when I went and looked at the states, how the states were voting that were remaining, he was gonna get over 300 electors. Like, she was getting her ass whooped. It wasn't even a close race. And as much as y'all talk shit about Donald Trump, we talking about a marketing genius. Like, if you watch documentaries about this guy or watch or research him, the way he came up, the guy's a marketing genius. Like, from putting his last name on everything to marketing himself as a billionaire even before he was a billionaire. Dude been on a political campaign literally, it seemed like, for 40, 50 years. Your party was unprepared, does not understand what the average American's issues are and concerns are, and didn't have a candidate that stood a chance in hell. So it is what it is. And don't try to say it was a specific group that voted for him. No, every group voted for him, because the way the numbers turned out, there's no way he swept like that without the support of everyone, every demographic. Y'all went too far left, too far. Pump your brakes.
This woman's spot on. I love her.
Yeah, she did it. But I'm gonna tell you this, like what she added, what people don't understand, because that's why I chose to do this show. I want to get you gentlemen on with your different perspectives, but nobody's talking about the fact that the Democrats gave this away, not because they picked Kamala the way they selected her without any type of real vetting through the primary, but the fact that Elon Musk, Robert Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, and Donald Trump were all Democrats at one point. Think about what I just said. They were all Democrats at one point.
Right.
And really, the Democrats lost this back in 2016 when they stole it from Bernie Sanders and gave it to Hillary.
Yep.
They lost it then because I was voting Democrat. I voted Obama twice. I went to his inaugurations, went thousands of dollars into debt both times. And I regret every day I should have voted for Cynthia McKinney, who I knew and interviewed several times. I met and I interviewed back in 2008. I wish I would have voted for her with the Green Party. Obama wasn't the one, and Kamala ain't the one. Identity politics don't really work well for black people in a country that's, came out of certain like white nationalist ideologies, but not all together, because people talking about make America great again is racist. You can't have America great again without black excellence. Black people made America great the first time. Stop letting these folks control the narrative and take away what you actually invested in. We fought in every war. We gave blood, sweat, tears, and years to this American project. And I'll be damned when I'm ran out my country that my forefathers and mothers have fought, bled, and sacrificed for. This is my land. This is your land. So stop acting like we can't have nothing. And what people don't understand, what pisses me off more, is that J6 bull crap was not an insurrection. November 10th is not only the anniversary of Malcolm's message to the grassroots, but also it's the anniversary of the Wilmington Race Massacre that happened November 10th, 1898 in Wilmington, North Carolina, which was out of power Democrats overthrew a fusion government of black and white people working together in the state's largest city. It wasn't Charlotte. The largest city in North Carolina was Wilmington. There was Atlanta before there was Atlanta. Black folks were prospering there, but what they did was they led an insurrection that the governor knew about, that the president of the United States knew about, but nobody intervened. So black folks lost not only their lives, but their land, their businesses, and what we call generational wealth. And what's crazy, Wilmington became a sundown town for most of the 20th century. And guess who's from Wilmington?
Who?
A very famous Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
He was born in Brooklyn, but he was raised in Wilmington. So you want to understand the psychology of a Michael Jordan when Harvey Gantt was running for senator, and what did Michael Jordan say? Well, Republican buy shoes too. That's his answer. But you got to think about he grew up in a sundown town. If y'all know what a sundown town is, it's places where black folks had to be in the house by dark.
A lot of
people
people
gonna happen to you. That's Michael Jordan.
Right. People that did live, like you said, live in sundown towns or worked in sundown towns.
Mm-hmm.
Had to make sure they left before dark. A lot of people don't realize that, but thank you.
They still got sundown towns. You got them in the land of Lincoln. Illinois got a whole bunch of sundown towns outside Chicago. Hell, there's a whole bunch of sundown towns in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Right. I want to ask you, gentlemen, this while I got you up here. What does this win for Trump do for the legacy of Barack Obama, because in
He's great.
2016 he told everybody it would be a affront to his legacy if you didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. She lost and Trump won. Now this time they pull him out in Pennsylvania and he says, I want to talk to the brothers, and I'm hearing if you all are having reservations for voting for this woman because she's a woman, and that's unacceptable. So I'm wondering, what does he have to say about that? What do you think? Is it an affront to his legacy? Do you think he has a legacy?
The boule are their power, and that includes Obama. Point blank.
I mean, at this point, I mean, what? I mean, a legacy of what? Not a legacy of not doing nothing for us, though.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he didn't do nothing for us. The thing is, and the funny thing about it is, even for example, Trump issued something before, while he was on his way out, like the platinum plan, which was going to distribute $500 trillion towards $500 billion towards black businesses. So I mean, and that's something economic.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, y'all hit us with symbolism. That's about it. That's what I get out of this. John Lewis Act and
John Lewis bill, the George Floyd Act. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
It's just like no real justice. I don't know. No justice reform. Rewarding the police with the blue alerts law.
I thought that would be Project 2025 though, Frank. That supposed to be Project police immunity.
Exactly. Like they didn't already have, and they're not the only ones that have immunity, man.
Yeah, they forgot the blue alert law he signed.
Did they forget, or they just didn't want to remind?
Well, I think a lot of people honestly don't read and don't know about it. I think like we research stuff every time we come on here. We read stuff. Elderly people, especially from their 60s on up, what are they doing every morning? They're drinking their coffee and they're watching CNN or MSNBC.
That's exactly right. God damn.
And they're listening to that.
I almost none of that, bro. Yeah. Bro. I almost none of that. I listen to y'all before I listen to them. You understand?
News. Somebody give Van Jones a Kleenex. I asked him that. Did he get one?
I keep hearing he did cry again. I didn't see
the video. Tried to.
He cried again.
It's a big, strong black man crying like that, boy.
Thank you.
A grown man crying like that on national TV. Mm-hmm. I don't see what the thing is with that. Well, I mean, didn't he get like $1 million? Didn't he get a certain amount of money from a Goldman Sachs or something like that?
He actually met Jeff Bezos.
Money. Jeff Bezos.
Or Jeff Bezos.
$100 million. Yeah.
Well, also Trump helped him with the Reform Act, the first step. Yeah, Trump is a master. I mean, he's a politician now, but Trump is a master negotiator, and that's what people don't appreciate about Trump. That's what I love about him. He's a deal maker, not a warmonger. He's not a war hawk. He's a deal maker. He believes in making deals and prosperity through peace. But getting back to Obama, I can't let him off the hook like that, because Jesse Jackson, as much as we criticize Jesse, we owe him an apology, because Jesse exposed Obama. He exposed Obama back in 2008. Ain't gonna never forget when Jesse was on Fox News or somewhere, and he had a hot mic, and he was telling the cold gas, whatever you call him. He said, "No, Obama talking down to black people. Somebody need to castrate him." He made like the.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and people got on Jesse, but Jesse was telling the truth. Obama been very disrespectful in his mom's jeans while eating mama spaghetti. Mom spaghetti with his mom jeans on. Sit your ass down. Because you have a lot. This is not 2008 no more, champ. This ain't 2012 no more, champ. You have not done a damn thing for black folk. Kamala learned from him, because he was asked that question about reparations. And he said, no. And he's not black like us. And that's a problem I had with Kamala. Whatever black she had in her left her when Willie Brown and Montel left her. I don't know what she really is. Hell, she's not black like my mama. She's not black like my auntie. And she's not black like my sister. She's a different type of black. And she, turkey neck black. I mean, she was attractive back in the day. But my thing about this is, she's a scam artist. She's a grifter. She's an anchor baby at best. She's an anchor baby. Her folks have never been American citizens. She spent most of her childhood in Canada.
Right.
She should have hired Drake to be her black scent coach or something.
Thank you.
Help out a Canuck. or Canuck,
Rachel
whatever you call
Dolezal
it.
has a better connection with black people than she does.
Yeah, but you know what thing I'm gonna tell you about Obama that they try to sweep under the rug? I think it's interesting. Y'all know the actor Harry Lennox the third, I believe. He played in the
Yep.
Five
Yeah,
Heartbeat talk,
Yep.
played in the Superman movie with the cleft chin.
he
Now
played
Oh yeah,
it's
played
different stuff.
Dresser in the Five
Yeah, the
Heartbeats.
Five Heartbeats. Right. Here's the thing. He claimed he was on this popular Chicago radio show years ago called the Man Cow Show, I believe. He claimed, according to the producers, that he was approached by certain government entities or officials to teach Obama how to act like a black guy from Chicago. Think about what I'm saying. You think about Harry Lennox. I remember I met Harry Lennox of all places in a barbecue joint in Memphis called Central Barbecue on Central Street in Midtown. And I had a sister who was a stewardess from Chicago. She was visiting. We went to college together. So I took her and my mom out to eat some barbecue. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing this dude in the corner. It was Harry Lennox with a traveling companion. And I approached. I said, "Are you Harry Lennox the third?" I mean, everybody don't know who he is, but he looked familiar, right? He said, "Yes, I'm Harry Lennox." And yeah, man, I loved you in that movie, you and Vanessa Williams, where you played Adam Clayton Powell Jr. You know what? If they ever make a biopic about Obama, you should play him. And him and his friend look at each other and did a knowing glance and smile. Not knowing that that same year he was on the Man Cow Show and allegedly talked about how he was approached by government officials to teach Obama how to act black in the 90s. Because you look at Obama, he reminds you of Harry. You look at Harry Lennox, you look at Obama, they got some of the same mannerisms and stuff like that. So that makes a lot of sense to me.
He actually played Obama. Well, he didn't play Obama, but it was around the same time Obama was president. There was a HBO show, and he was in the show as the black president.
There you go.
And it was kind of a spoof, I guess, on Barack Obama, which is interesting. But no, Barack Obama has no legacy. His legacy was for the alphabet community and for migrants.
Okay, I got a brother, Omega brother, saying it's true. Brother Brian from Chicago.
Matter of fact, I know Andrew Wyatt, who's Bill Cosby publicist. He knows Harry Lennox, so I might. You know what? That might be give me an idea to see if I can ask him a question.
Well, the thing of Obama, he's a psyop. I mean, he was made in a laboratory. He's like a Manchurian. He is a Manchurian candidate. He's a property of the CIA. Because this story ain't like our story. We have yet to have a black person in them high levels that are actually like us from this country that came through our narrative to chattel slavery, Jim Crow, red line, all the stuff that we had to endure as a people. We have yet to have a candidate at that level outside of Cynthia McKinney, who we did not support, which is interesting to me. And she was like, she cared. She talked about not only what was going on in the Middle East, she was ahead of that. They took her out of here. Before, they always talking about Cori Bush, what happened to her in St. Louis with this, with election interference from APAC. They took Cynthia McKinney out here decades before that. She was ahead of the curve.
I got a question about Cynthia McKinney. Well, not a question, more like a statement.
Okay.
You know, me and Harry talked to in time through email, and I was like, I was gonna get her on my show, and she was like, I told her she probably said I gotta do a rumble or something because YouTube, if you do an interview with her, it'd take it down in a minute. Right. But I would, if I did the show, I still would have had to do it like I would have had to get up at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. to do it because she teaches in Asia or Bangladesh. Now, Cynthia McKinney's father told you. Now, matter of fact, we talk about, the irregularities and stuff like that. She said the irregularities happened starting with her back in 2000, in the early 2000s. And the Democrats, what they did with her, because Nancy Pelosi was not a fan of Cynthia McKinney. She spoke out against 9/11. She spoke out against Israel. And she spoke about what happened to Hurricane Katrina when people were being shot down in the street.
That's right. Before social media, we didn't have all that back then. She was crazy.
And Cynthia McKinney, they ran a woman named Dennis Majette against her in Georgia. They beat her the first one time. But they had Republicans actually voting in the Democrat primary to do that like a crossover. And then she came back. And then they replaced her with a guy I think named Hank Johnson, who is still in the Georgia today. I think he's a House rep for Georgia today. I think it's Hank Johnson. Brown skin guy with gray hair now. But Cynthia McKinney then went over to Gaza. And actually, believe it or not, by the Obama administration, and they were, locked up over there. And Senator McKinney, to just odd thing here. Do you realize that we got these HBCUs that were supporting Kamala Harris, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course.
But Senator McKinney got PhD, political science, congresswoman. Do you realize Senator McKinney is over there in Asia right now? And I gotta hit, if I want to talk to this guy, I gotta hit up at 6 o'clock in the morning because she's 10 hours from, because HBCUs over here wouldn't even hire her to be a professor.
Why
right
are they
here.
Right. Fact.
HBCUs are influenced by the Jutang clan. They're influenced by APAC as
Yep,
well.
that's right. That's
Like,
right. I
they're
know.
good HBCUs. They're
Yep,
good
that's right.
people, but they're backed by the
Her
establishment.
daddy said. Yep, her daddy
Well,
Facts. That's
most
true.
HBCUs are state-funded schools. Like Southern is a state school, and they get their money from the legislature and so forth. And a lot of HBCUs, another problem they have, unlike the white schools, like say LSU here in Baton Rouge, there's LSU and Southern, for instance. LSU has donors. They have boosters. The boosters are the ones, I'm just giving you an example, they're responsible for the hiring and firing of coaches. Like, if the coaches don't do good or anything like that, they put pressure on the administration to get rid of them. That's what happened with Ogeron. So, so we don't have a lot of people giving monies to HBCU supporters like that. But and another thing too is that I think there's a lot of they want the illusion of inclusion with some stuff. They want acceptance. They're not about doing the right thing. And you see, one of the problems I had, especially when I was at Southern as an undergrad, I noticed a lot. And one thing they have is disorganization, the misuse of funds, people not running things properly. Now, a lot of these HBCUs, you have a lot of white students. Don't get me wrong. I love my HBCUs, but a lot of white students now are joining. Southern Law School has over 47% of white students that went there. Mike Foster went to, the governor of Louisiana went to Southern University Law Center. They go there because they can't get into LSU or Loyola, and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of them are going to the HBCUs.
Right.
And he actually has one of the best nursing programs in Alabama, and a lot of white students go there as well.
Correct.
Where's that?
In Tuskegee.
Yeah, and also Bluefield State University in West Virginia. That's an HBCU, but it's 80% white.
80%. Well, I was just about to mention that. Yeah. Yes.
You got some HBCUs that are majority white, and also a lot of these HBCUs were founded by white people. Howard was founded by a white man. It named the HBU. General Howard was named after a white man.
Yeah, Oliver
Founded
Howard,
by a white man.
Xavier.
Booker T. Washington did not found Tuskegee. He was appointed by the state of Alabama to Tuskegee, but Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune did found Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, okay.
And that's a story that needs to be known as a brilliant story. She took down the
Spelman
Klan.
Spelman too.
Spelman was founded by two white women from Massachusetts who might have been suspect lesbians.
Well, Xavier,
I didn't know
that.
Sarah Howard Sarah, I think Rockefeller Spelman. I think she's
Rockefeller's wife. That's her family's. That's her maiden name, Spelman. They were family abolitionists from the Northeast. But Spelman was founded by two white women who was educators and they never married. So I'm assuming they were very close. But you got to read between the lines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think they were lovers, but I can't assume. But but I'm saying, but Spelman's named after Rockefeller's wife family. John D. Rockefeller gave a lot of money to Spelman.
All right. Xavier University here in Louisiana, that was founded by a Catholic saint, Catherine. Okay. She was actually, and she created that Blessed Sacrament. And Xavier, it was designed to educate Black Americans as well as Native Americans. Nowadays, Xavier has like the top-rated pharmacy school in the country, and a lot of Asians go to Xavier. And and Kamala Harris had some initiatives, her and Joe Biden. What group? And they say that she couldn't do anything, or they can't do anything specific, but they had specific initiatives they wanted to give Asian Americans here. That was on their websites, especially with regards to fields of technology. So they actually had an executive order, I think Joe Biden signed, for Hispanics that happened a couple of days ago. So it's clear they can do stuff that they want for different groups. And they say the vice president couldn't do anything. Ron, you and I talked about this. Dick Cheney ran that White House from 2000 to 2008.
Yeah. He gave Halliburton that monster contract because Iraq was already had an infrastructure. They destroyed Iraq just so Halliburton could get paid. And y'all think, here's the thing. That's another thing people weird to me. Well, no, Kamala was going around and said, well, Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney support me. Dick Cheney, everybody, see, military don't like Trump. The reason why the military do like, it's elements within the military, they love Trump. It's the warmongers, the war profiteers, they don't love Trump. John Bolton don't like Donald Trump. He's a war hawk. Dick Cheney don't like Donald Trump. He's a war hawk. Right. Donald Trump is a man of peace. Anytime you are the peacemaker, America been a wartime economy since World War II. That's how we make our money. Ukraine is not about giving the people of Ukraine money. You giving contractors all the money. And there's money laundering going on allegedly in Ukraine. Yep. Wars is about money laundering. It ain't about no freedom. Ain't about what we've been told it's about. It's always about securing other people's resources by any means necessary. So to call somebody a war criminal is really weird because, like Colin Powell said on Meet the Press years ago, when you declare war, you call off civilizations. There's no rules. You're just trying to win by any means necessary. But the problem with us as Black people is Kamala was known as a South Asian leader. She was the first South Asian senator, first South Asian president. We have no real Black leadership. We have a lot of Black apologists and a lot of Negroes step and fetch it. Like 60 years ago, we had Black leadership, for better or for worse. You had Black men ahead of organizations with different ideologies and philosophies, but you had hetero Black male leadership that was prominent. Now, patriarchy, whatever, but you had Black men in the gap. We don't have that no more. We got Van Jones crying on primetime TV.
Boule.
Right, we got Boule, but the thing about you can't serve two masters. And the thing about it is we got to have a cultural civil war in the so-called Black community. It's gonna have to happen. It's happening now. It's gonna have to be like what a Black Panther movie. It's like predictive program. You got the Black man going against the Black woman. They saved the CIA dude. He should have died. They should have killed him. Right. But they killed Killmonger. He was trying to free everybody by any means necessary.
Killmonger
war is ugly.
Extended creator of World War II. He ain't the right person to do. He was not. No, they would have not beat the Avengers, bro. If he had his way,
they would not beat the Avengers.
No.
That's what they want you to think. They want you to think you can't do anything because the best soldiers from history are black people. We make the best soldiers because we love to be told what to fucking do. We don't want to do nothing for ourselves. We don't know what freedom is. We don't know how to help no self-determination.
So you want to talk about that Turner ending slavery? You want to talk about slave rebellions instead of the Civil War and killing the families that own slaves? I could talk about that all day. But in terms of Killmonger, nah, I can't say that.
I'm gonna tell you something like this: the Civil War. You brought up the Civil War. The Civil War was the one time Black men picked up the gun and freed themselves. They were losing the war. Matter of fact, the Black colored troops were whooping the South ass so bad that Judah P. Benjamin, the second in command, said we need to utilize the black slaves and make them more like soldiers. But you always had Black folks fighting. They fought on the Confederacy side too, because Frederick Douglass said he saw Black Confederates engage in battle. See, I don't know what to believe about the history. I don't trust the history. I don't trust the media. I don't trust the schools. I don't trust the hospitals. I don't trust the church, especially like what I saw on Facebook. On Snitch Book, you got these pastors misleading they flock. You got them fear mongering. Baba Dick Gregory said God and fear cannot exist in the same space. You got people that say they love God, but they worship fear.
Thank you.
For what? We've been in Project 1619. The hell of Project 2025. We in Project 2024.
That's true.
What the hell y'all talking about? I mean, smart people like academics and religious people, and these people are weirdos. They like Tim Walls. Y'all some weirdos.
Oh man,
y'all scared. Black folks been getting killed by police, man. Obama had a whole bunch of like Sandra Bland. What paper or what they call it, garbage bag they used to hang her? We don't even know. We're not even strong enough to demand a private or independent investigation into what happened to Sandra Bland. We just let that go by. We just worry about the Lakers and the Cowboys and shit.
Facts.
We are. Why are we not serious about nothing? And y'all mad at Trump because Trump got to get y'all serious. He waking people up. God is using Trump to wake folks up.
Did Ben Crump file a lawsuit for Sandra Bland's family?
But it's not on Ben Crump. We don't look like, you know, when they used to hang people from immigrants from different countries, America had to pay restitution to their country of origin. If you hang a person from Italy or China, our government had to pay them reparations and restitutions. We have no institution that answers for Black lives being lost.
No, I'm not saying it's his fault. That's not what I'm asking. I'm wondering who's representing the family and what happened with that, because I thought he was on that.
But he can't be the only one. But Ben Crump is what we got now. He fits the times. Now he fits the time because we are so complacent, because we really lost the movement. We lost. We didn't win. Because affirmative action supposed to be meant for our people that came out of chattel slavery and Jim Crow. They used for everybody else. White women benefited more from affirmative action than anything, than any group. And Lyndon B. Johnson did a speech in Howard. He said that affirmative action supposed to be for Black Americans that went through all they went through. But yet they use affirmative action for everybody but Black people. They give us affirmative jail time and hard times.
I want to know what happened in the death of Shanquella Robinson, the sister that was killed in Mexico, because her family didn't get it.
What happened? All that fake outrage. What happened to that?
Yeah.
What about Sonia Massey? What happened to that?
Right, that was this summer. We forgot. I forgot about that already. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
It's like, what's going on with these incidences too? Are these like genuine incidences? Or are these some of these, you know, like psyops? Or these psychological operations?
All of them psyops, because they choose to promote certain stories, like that brother from Chicago. You remember that truck driver from Chicago, that young man they found hanging from a tree in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Lennon, what's his name? Now, you know about Lennon Lacey. That happened several years ago in North Carolina. They found that brother hanging in a white trailer park with shoes too small for his feet. He had Jordans on when they killed that boy. He had clothes too small and shoes too small for his feet. And they say he killed himself in a white trailer park. He was dealing with a white woman who was married. He had no business. The town warned him not to mess with him. You investigate that, Chad. You went up to North Carolina, then Lennon Lacey. What did William Barber, Mr. Poor People Campaign, do about that? Who was the head of the NACP of the state of North Carolina?
They said they're investigating, but never got back to him.
And that was 2014. So when was that? Time go by so fast. Who are accounting for what happened to our people? That's why they could do things to us, because we got no representation in
Congress. Darren Seals, St. Louis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but Cori Bush ain't do nothing. She worried about, they got out the way. But I'm saying, and that's another thing. I was in Ferguson in the aftermath. I studied it. I went to Mike Brown's funeral. It's very fascinating. George Soros came out. He put $40 million somewhat into that. That's how the Black Lives Matter movement didn't get started in Ferguson. It got started with Trayvon Martin and stuff back in 2012. But they really got their identity, their brand came up doing the Mike Brown thing. And then you go into 2020 with George Floyd. But you had a tale of two Black Lives Matters movement in Ferguson and St. Louis. You had the one led by Darren Seals, a strong alpha Black male, young man, a Taurus like Malcolm X, very charismatic, organizer. He was out in the streets trying to get justice for Black people. Then you had the one that was approved by George Soros, where he popped up with D.K. Kessens or something, D-Ray Kessens. The guy used to wear the vest. Yeah, a couple of people came out there. They became prominent so-called activists, got invited to the White House, sat on a couple of committees. What came of that? That was 2014? And 10 years later, we talking about Project 2025. We talking about police immunity. We couldn't get the job done in 2014. We couldn't get it done in 1968 or 55. See, we turning our wheels. That's why I say it's sad, the elders, man. I be seeing them, these so-called civil rights greats, they all scared. They scared old people.
Let me ask you a question. I got a question.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, because just a couple of days ago, they had this ad of Yolanda Adams and all these pastors that were talking about basically when Kamala Harris win, we all win, or something like that. And I'm looking at this like, okay. Doesn't this woman come in your church and talk abortion and joy coming in the morning? Now, Ron, come on, man. Let's talk about joy, because she was talking about Hitler a lot, right? She's talking about
Hitler. The joy campaign.
That's right. Well, yeah, that's right. The joy campaign. I said, now when you look at hers, let's look at what we're looking at. Remember, Imhoff, really. That means what? That her husband is Jewish. She's in the bloodline. It's a fact. Okay, that's a Mossad agent, by the way. But let me keep going with that. That woman, when you look at her, she was calling Trump Hitler, but she had that brown suit on the other day too, just like Hitler. Now, if you look at her, wouldn't she be called like an Aryan type of woman? When you look at her, Aryan type. So
well, she is an Aryan, right? She is an Aryan.
Yeah. So she is the people. She more connected to Hitler than anybody. If you look at her for what it is, I mean, now, like I tell people, got brother crashing out. One guy he put out on Instagram today. I hope half of y'all that voted for Trump burn in hell, or you supported him burn in hell. You got women I done seen on Facebook talking about the police got immunity. If they do something to y'all, don't call her. Florida, Texas.
Lil Scrappy was saying
Florida, Texas, and Louisiana.
I know you're talking about. You're talking about Lil Scrappy. I know you're talking about.
Hurricane. Don't ask for no prayers. You get what you get. And I'm looking at these people, and I'm like, are you a product of your own creation, or is Dapper got your mind? I think Dapper got your mind, because you are crazy.
But Gavin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Now, you said that Obama passed a bill that's pro-police, right?
Yeah, blue
alert.
alert.
He didn't pass a bill. He signed it into law. It was the blue alert law.
Okay, so now I don't agree with the immunity crap, but Obama actually signed a law dedicated to police. But y'all mad at Trump even considering that, but he's worse than Barack, but they still love Barack Obama. I just never, that's just hypocrisy right there. And to what
I think it's
like,
MK Ultra, man. It's definitely some group think. Definitely some Edward Bernays type programming for sure.
These people are going to celebrate people getting killed by cops.
And they use Ferguson to do it.
I mean, okay. All right, bye.
But you had a lot of activists. Yeah, you bring up Ferguson. A lot of activists have died mysterious deaths since the Ferguson thing, like Darren Seals and some other people, and that's never been investigated properly. But Corey
Bush,
the
boy from Texas,
what boy from Texas?
The one with the robot.
Oh yeah, you talking about
Michael Johnson? Michael Johnson?
Michael Johnson.
Yeah, that's him.
Right.
That's him. Michael Johnson, yeah.
And Gavin Long and Baton Rouge.
Yeah, Gavin. I remember that.
That was the summer when they killed Philando Castile and Alton Sterling.
In Baton Rouge.
That happened, yeah. But my thing is, people we afraid to talk about stuff like that. I talk about it's a guy named Mark Essex back in 1970. They call him the Howard Johnson shooter, the Hojo shooter down in New Orleans. He was top of the Howard Johnson sniping people. He was a Navy guy that encountered a lot of racism in the military. And also he was a Black Panther Party member down in New Orleans, I believe. And he was retaliating against the police for like police brutality against the Panthers and the Black community. He just went on a shooting spree and killed a whole bunch of police. They had to bring in a SWAT team on a helicopter to take him out. And people thought it was more than one person involved in all that shenanigans. But we don't talk about stuff like that. We don't talk about Robert Charles. We don't talk about the fact in this last November that the U.S. military exonerated the 24th Infantry 3rd Battalion, the Buffalo Soldiers, who was involved in the Houston race incident back in August 23rd, 1917, where they marched on the city of Houston and got into a shootout with the police, killed a whole bunch of police. Then the government had the largest murder trial in U.S. history.
Yep.
Now these guys, their due process, they end up sentencing a lot of them to life imprisonment. They hung 19 men, and Woodrow Wilson had to intervene because he didn't have a chance to look at or review the cases. So they were just exonerated last November, and they restored their honorary discharge, but that's 100-something years too late. And there's a movie called The 24th that everybody should watch at least by Veterans Day.
And those men did nothing wrong and retaliate against those police or citizens in that area. They did nothing
Yeah, but
wrong.
they said they're mutiny, though. But yeah, they honor their oath to protect the United States against enemies, both foreign and
Foreign and
domestic.
domestic.
They were heroes, and they always be heroes. And it was the month after the East St. Louis race massacre where they were burning black folks in buildings and throwing black folks in the Mississippi River, and they only stopped because they wanted to celebrate the 4th of July. This is America, and all your race massacres and riots in American history had at its nucleus some type of police misconduct or brutality. I remember I was sitting next to Jesse Jackson when they ran him out of Ferguson. We was in the same airport hotel, whatever. We was at the bar, and we was watching the TV at the bar to see if the protest was going to obey the curfew in Ferguson. And Jesse, like Dick Gregory, whatever you think about Jesse Jackson, Dick Gregory said it best. He has one of the finest minds on the planet. He's brilliant. And he basically made it plain. He was just talking to me in low voice. Yeah, every riot has police issues at the nucleus of it. You know, I interviewed him, and people were mad because I interviewed Jesse Jackson when they trying to run him out of Ferguson. But Jesse is owed an apology because he tried to do a lot of things for us as black people, but he got caught in that vice as well. I think he meant well, but you get caught up, you know, because people tell me you got to go into the system and change the system. You don't change the system changes you. And it's not broken, it's working the way it's supposed to work. So what is the other alternative? And we don't support other alternatives. We're afraid. We're afraid. I mean, as a people, I ain't saying as individuals. I'm saying as a people, we are afraid. Because look how we responded as a people to what happened last night.
So I want to ask this to all of you, because a lot of people, I see a lot of black people defending the FBI or defending the CIA and saying it needs to be saved when it was designed to hurt us. Do you think that, and this is a question for all four of you, do you think Trump will get rid of the FBI, CIA, of these agencies, or do you think it's all talk?
I think it's talk.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's not all. No.
Okay.
Maybe the Board of Education.
He didn't do it in his first term.
That's right. Exactly.
But he also didn't get it.
So I mean, that's saying maybe there's there's a lenience of I want to at least get rid of one of these agencies, but I understand.
No, he's going to curtail powers because the Justice Department has been weaponized against. I never seen a president in my life or in history been treated the way President Donald Trump has been treated by the Justice Department. He's going to have to bring in some of that power because they have abused their power. He got to ring them in. He is going to do something about it because what y'all don't understand is that his first cabinet was filled with swamp creatures. He said, I want to drain the swamp, but he didn't know how to navigate the swamp. He had a lot of swamp creatures in his cabinet. This cabinet that he's going to put together now is going to be one of the greatest cabinets in U.S. history. He's going to have Elon Musk as Department of Energy, of Government Efficiency.
Elon Musk is getting part of the government?
They creating a new department allegedly for him, Department of Government Efficiency. Then you got Vivek, you got Tulsi Gabbard, who is Wonder Woman. I would have voted for Tulsi.
Me too.
I think she's incredible, and I think she's the real deal. And you got RFK Jr., who's making America healthy again. They're going to get a lot of that stuff out of our food. He's going to release the JFK files, probably release that Epstein stuff. Donald Trump is not business as usual. What y'all don't get, he's the anti-establishment candidate. He's not supposed to be alive, let alone be in the position that he's in. He is the revenge of JFK, of Huey Long, and Jack Johnson. He is treated like they treated Jack Johnson. He is the guy. He's the guy they love to hate. He's the boogeyman. But Donald Trump is the most polarizing president since Abraham Lincoln. If you read about how they treated Lincoln when he was alive, they treated Donald Trump the same way. And he will be exonerated by the true annals of history as being one of our greatest presidents. He's not our worst president. He's actually the only president I could think of that never got us in any type of major conflict. That's why he's a problem, because he knows how to talk to the world leaders and make deals and not make war. And that's a big problem, because if Donald Trump was in office this term, there would be no October 7th. There would be no Ukrainian-Russian conflict. Nobody invaded anything while he was president. The Taliban was afraid of Donald Trump. Donald Trump told the leader of the Taliban, if you touch one of our people, he left him a photograph of his home whereabouts. Let him know we gangster with it. We know how to, kick them hammers in. See, what y'all don't understand, Donald Trump from New York, right? He's from Queens, like John Gotti and 50 Cent and all that. He's a great troll. But he knows that it's bad business to always be violent. it's bad business to kill a lot of your consumers. You're trying to make money, not make war. You're trying to make peace through deals, strength through prosperity and peace. He's a problem if we've been a wartime economy since World War II. We've been in a constant state of conflict because that's how the military industry complex makes his money. Before they killed Kennedy, Kennedy was withdrawing troops out of Vietnam before they shot him in Dallas. And then they increased troop presence in Vietnam through the Gulf of Tonkin incident in '64, which was a false flag incident to escalate our involvement in Vietnam.
Yep.
And the
They
helicopter
actually
industry made a
authorized
killing.
that the day of his funeral.
How did they what?
Lyndon Johnson had signed the order to reverse Kennedy's order on the day of the funeral.
Right. Don't say Kennedy was a problem because he wanted to make peace. He wanted to share the information with the Russians during the space race. He wanted to share things and build. He probably gonna lift that embargo against Cuba. He was a problem because he was a peacemaker. He took on the CIA. He called him out. Then they used A.L.L, the former head of the CIA, to investigate what happened to Kennedy. He know what happened to Kennedy. General Charles Cable, one of the top goons in the CIA. His brother was the mayor of Dallas at the time of Kennedy's assassination. A.L.L Cable. They changed the damn route that Kennedy was on that day at the last minute. So you can't tell me there's not an inside job. You got RFK in there that know that the elements of the government killed his father and his uncle.
Right. Well, even with
He's
Bobby,
gonna be in his cabinet.
well, even with Bobby Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy was killed out at the Ambassador Hotel. The man who shot him was the security guard because everybody said Sirhan was Rosie Greer. I even talked to Dick Gregory about it. Rosie Greer had a hold of Sirhan as well as the maitre d' called Euclid. And Bobby Kent, they actually have the audio recording. They said 12 shots were fired. Sirhan's gun had 8. So, and even some of the bullets out of there was missing supposedly. But they all know who did it. They all know what happened. And the guy who did it was the security guard Thane Caesar. That's what Bobby Kennedy Jr. said. But yeah, the guy never went to jail. You know, it was all CIA. That was all part of that. It was he worked for a security company and he doubled for the CIA. I think he worked for Lockheed Martin.
Security clearance. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and Bobby Kennedy was going to bring the troops home from Vietnam. He was the president. He was the lost president, which is what a lot of people say, because had he been president, I don't think we would have had a Vietnam, and his brother certainly wouldn't have allowed Vietnam to happen.
Yeah, also the Sirhan, he was in front of Bobby all the time. The shot that killed him came from behind him. Right. The security guard, they say he, kneeled in position and shot him in the right side of his head, in the back of his head. They say he pulled on his, because Bobby allegedly had his tie, the security guard tied in his hand. He was trying to tell people basically the dude killed me, but his wife put the rosary in his hand and took the tie out of his hand. But he grabbed the dude by the tie, and I guess but he was like, where he was at. But that's interesting to say, because this the thing about the Trump is unique. This is another thing that people don't talk about, and it's easy to look up. Robert Kennedy Sr., he got his first important job in DC because of Senator Joseph McCarthy, who led the Red Scare campaign to root out the communists in the government. And there was communists in the government, make no mistake about it. And Kennedy was a part of the legal counsel team with Roy Cohn. Roy Cohn was a mentor of Donald Trump. He helped groom Donald Trump to help him understand the political game. And also, you look at Elon Musk. His company is called Tesla. One of his companies, right, called Tesla.
Yeah.
When Nikola Tesla, the great inventor, when he passed away January 7, 1943, it was Donald Trump's uncle, John Trump, the brilliant scientist at MIT. He was called by the government to look into Tesla's notebooks at the time. So who is this Donald Trump character? Is he a time traveler? Well, I'm saying this Donald Trump ain't no ordinary person. We assume that Donald Trump he's a very brilliant person. And I believe he really trying to do right by the country. And like a lot of times you look at a lot of great movies, the villain is normally the hero. You see how sometimes they'll treat Spider-Man or Batman in the movie, they a vigilante, but they really the hero. Right. And people don't really appreciate the person that do right. It's like Dr. King. He was painted by the media because people got mad at Trump comparing himself to King. The last 2 years of King's life, the legacy media tried to destroy his character.
True.
they tried to destroy. He was like, now he's like this great hero now, right? He got this big old statue made by some Chinese communists and down in DC. But I'm saying like they cared to assassinate Trump. They made him to this celebrity where everybody loved him. All the rappers wanted to be like Trump. They rapped about Trump. He was on their albums like Method Man, Judgment Day. He helped Mike Tyson out when he was in a bind with the. He spoke out in favor of Mike Tyson. He spoke out in favor of Michael Jackson when he was facing that second charge. He said Michael Jackson's not a pedophile. He played with my children. He was a big kid.
Yeah.
And also he helped the Black Panther Party. And also he helped the Black Panther Party find housing in New York when they were looking for a place in New York. The Black Panthers had the help of Donald Trump to give them real estate. Y'all talking about, he housing discrimination and redlining. The government invented housing discrimination and redlining. Donald Trump actually offered affordable housing to the Black Panther Party back in the day. And David Hilliard, one of the co-founding members of the Black Panther Party, talked about that. And his family, after he was senile, and he doubled down on that. He said, I could tell you so and so. He could vouch for what I say. Donald Trump is good for Black people. He helped Nelson Mandela with transportation when he came to do his tour in America. He hooked up with Donald Trump to get one of his shuttle. Now he made money off of it, but he made sure that he gave him a good quality product, and they was very appreciative of it.
He also financed Jesse Jackson's 2 runs for president.
Right. He helped Al Sharpton too, and Don King.
Oh, did y'all see Al Sharpton get on MSNBC today?
I didn't see that yet, but I am going to.
Hey, Ron.
It's like a deflated clown balloon.
That one guy, I think he said backstage, Shaq. Or Shaq
Okay, I'll
Wilder.
give
I don't know what he was.
He helped Rosa Parks too. Okay, he was close with Muhammad Ali. Yeah, this interesting. Like, hey, Sister Slauson girl out the west side, the best side. See the truth, man.
Kelly too, huh?
Yeah, she 10 toes down, man. She a legend. Good to see you, sister. It's always on the big blast. You say what? Oh. Okay, we got another gentleman. Shaq, how you doing, man? You all right? Can you hear?
Shaq, what up?
Peace. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Salute, man. What's going on, you gentlemen tonight?
I don't know, man. It's a new day, new year, I guess. What you thinking? How you feeling?
Yeah, the Trump card has been played. The Trump card has been played, huh? What y'all think about I was talking to Bernard and some other guys earlier, and Trump and Netanyahu have a special relationship, and him and Putin have a relationship. What do you think about that relationship between Netanyahu and Putin, and how that those two dynamics will play out in the next 4 to 8 years?
I hope it's a good relationship.
I don't see no problem with it. I don't know what the nature of the relationship is. It's my first time really hearing it, but they're world leaders. So I know they gotta have a dealing with, especially like Israel and Russia. And even Trump, they gotta have a relationship with these people. And that was the problem with Kamala. She never met with Putin at all in her 4 years, from my understanding. She met with the president of Ukraine. But I really have no problem, because like the old saying go, politics make for strange bedfellows. What you make of the fact that Marcus Garvey dealt with the Ku Klux Klan? That they gave him money for his Back to Africa movement. What do you make of the fact that Elijah Muhammad brought, real estate from the Klan?
Yeah.
I mean, you dealing in a system, you got to deal with them. I just think I don't see a problem with it unless we know what the objective is. What's the agenda of them dealing with each other? It's like, General Patton at the end, he realized that we should have been attacking Russia and not Germany. That Russia was the biggest threat. It wasn't Germany, it was Russia. Right. And they got rid of Patton, right? And Eisenhower became president. So that's how they do.
This next war.
Hmm?
I don't know too much about their relationship either, but yeah, I think it'll be strong. Is my opinion. I don't think it's gonna be like wars with them.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be. I think because he got a relationship with Zelensky, so you know what I'm saying, and he's pro-Israel, so.
But I look at it like this. I think it like by him having a relationship with Netanyahu, like the weird thing about Trump, he's not pro-war, but for Israel and Iran, he kind of is for not having Iran, but I think Iran is getting backed by Russia. So do you really, that might put a cog in anything, because anything that Russia and any of them other BRIC states gonna get involved in, you ain't gonna really poke the bear too much. So it's kind of like, do we want to go? Yeah, we might.
Seems like every leader worships Israel. I don't know what it is. Don't know.
You know what it is.
Clan so much, but everyone worships Israel, bro. They're buck dancing for Israel. They're tap dancing for them. I don't get.
It's only one member of Congress.
Thomas Massey.
That's right. The only one.
I do.
I told my buddy, if that's who you talk about, that's who you vote for, because he's the only one that backed by Israel. Because if you got backed by Israel, you already know what's up. But I will say this, and the fact that they are really actually trying to, and I'm not sure when they're going to try to do it, because they got it right on table right now. Talking about, if you say anything about their medicine science, you're anti-Semitic. If you say anything about them, you're anti-Semitic.
Yes.
Point blank period. They are trying to crack down on speech like it's never seen before. And all this is about this going back to the 40s, but me and Ron have talked about it before on previous shows. What did General Smedley Butler say, Ron? War is a racket.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a racket.
Yeah.
It's a racket. But
right.
And this is why you say about this one thing in this country that got to be done. And it doesn't matter what president office, that until somebody put that Federal Reserve on their ass.
Thank you.
We ain't really going. That's the start of the problem. 1913. That Federal Reserve got to be done something with, because if you knock it out, you got the source of power. Now look, I'm looking at this thing now. They showed today Bitcoin shot up. People buying gold, silver. Some things are happening. Now, I'm just gonna say that. But as far as us, we got to get back to some type of farming. Look at this, man. Kellogg's is being sued now and people been protesting Kellogg's for their red dyes and stuff, products and foods. So what I'm saying, we got to get back to something. I'm talking about the brothers now. I'm not talking about the betas and all these other little clowns out here. They want, oh my God, I got a broke wrist and I'm so sad. The common law, right? But those guys, right?
Right.
But because I don't know about them, but I think that we gotten so. If you look at it, man, I'm just being honest. I mean, when you out sometime, like you know how far people away from nature now, like like it was 80 degrees today in Virginia in November, like, and I know people say it's nice, but some people gonna have to say that sometime this is a little abnormal to have mild summer days in November in Virginia, or maybe there might be a case in Tennessee, but it's not here. So we got to understand what's up, what's going on with it ain't the global warming. We got to understand we got Operation Popeye, we got HARP, we got all these things, chemtrails all the time. As a matter of fact, in Louisiana and another state, they actually was passing trying to put it on the table to ban those things, right? But what I'm saying is we have to, nothing with New Hampshire, but we have to know that we are really in a war, and we got to get our act together. We got to train, we got to strategize, and we got to have some ammo. I mean, I'm just being real. I'm not talking about just ammo in the barrel of a gun. I'm talking about mental ammo. Because they're about to hit us with a bunch of psyops in the next couple of weeks that you're going to be like, what the hell? And unfortunately, a lot of people can get sick because, Thanksgiving and Christmas is coming up. A whole lot of eating. Hey, look, if you eat, please try to stay in shape a little bit, because we're going to need some people to fight these battles.
No, we too dependent. It's over, man. It's a wrap. We're going to lose a lot of people. I'm going to be honest with you.
Man,
and you look at the election, the selection, how people are acting. They so emotional. And it's all about we're going to end relationships over this disagreement on perspective. And my thing is, like I asked the brother earlier, has he been disrespected by a Trump supporter? He said, no, but I've been disrespected a lot by so-called people that look like me, skin folk, who ain't kin folk, calling me everything but a child of God. You understand? And the thing about politics, people understand is I want respect. I don't care if you like me or not. You're gonna respect me. I'm gonna have something that I want from you. If you want something from me, you gotta give me something as well. It's gotta be transactional. You want to be, all right, do they like me? Will they have a beer with me? Bullshit. Will they help me change my tire? Bullshit. Get AAA, bitch. Get AAA. You know what I'm saying? It's not worry about it. Can I have a beer? Donald Trump don't even drink. You want to have a Big Mac with him? Maybe have a Big Mac with you. Maybe some fries. But why is that so important? Because people don't know is what they think and how they feel. It's what I
they
feel
got to see
about
Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce and everybody else. That's
yeah,
why.
but what do you know? But Malcolm X warned us about the court just of celebrity puppets
concert,
and about the white liberals and about the Democrats. The Democratic Party helped create the Federal Reserve and the IRS. The Democratic Party helped create Israel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? The Democratic Party created the Klan. The Democratic Party created Jim Crowism, redlining, all this stuff. They didn't want to pass an anti-lynching bill for decades. Roosevelt was a president for 4 terms, right? He didn't complete the 4th one. But every time the anti-lynching bill came up, they couldn't do nothing for black folk.
Right.
But so when they gonna do something for us? Because we don't do nothing for ourselves. What do we want though? Because I heard black folks say, I remember when Clyburn, when Biden won, and Jim Clyburn helped them get the South Carolina primary vote. Because if he didn't secure that primary vote in South Carolina, he would not have been president. And then they asked him, like, so what can he do for you, Jim? Oh, I don't need much. I got everything I want. I'm happy. Nigga, ain't you a representative of other constituents that's struggling? And I don't need nothing. I got everything I want and need, and my family. See, my thing about politics, until we get people in politics that's about public service, nothing gonna change. Because if you in politics to make yourself and your people rich, your circle, good, worldly good to anybody. They're supposed to be your constituents. Until we get politicians say, your salary is enough, the benefits is enough. I ain't trying to make no side deals. I just want to serve the people. And that's what Marion Barry did. Now, he had his vices, but he wasn't corrupt when it came to enriching and empowering the people.
True.
Everybody gonna have their vices. You know what I'm saying?
True. That's why they exposed him.
Actually gave
that scandal come out.
Yeah, Marion Barry actually gave tangibles to the people out in District of Columbia, which is why they reelected him even after that trial that he had. And when you do stuff like that, people will look out for you. So it was, he took a stand against a lot of the stuff. What's the term I'm looking for? The gentrification and stuff that's going on in DC. We don't have that no more. Everybody looking out for each other. That's why a lot of these Democratic mayors, we got to talk about this too. They done lost their mind. Look what's going on in Dalton, Illinois, with that city girl mayor.
Yeah.
I mean, people
Hot girl summer every day.
No, it's black girl magic, black girl magic.
Okay.
LaToya Cantrell down here in New Orleans, she might likely get indicted. The feds are looking into her.
I know some young politicians in Jackson, Mississippi that got into a world of trouble too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just do your job, I'm looking for the take, man. Just be honest. Just be an honest public servant. You come in there broke, just be broke when you leave. Just be all good. Pay your taxes, avoid the audits and stuff. Just be honest.
That's true.
I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and even though the mayor's not going through anything, Nashville, Tennessee's got some issues here. Even though it's a white man as mayor, there's a black police chief. He's a terrible leader, bro. He's a soy boy mayor, though. Like, that's not a good combination.
No.
We need to start writing our own legislation, dog. We the people, man. We are the government. You don't have a government without people, so we are the people. And we need to start authoring our own legislation. People that's good with political science, you get guys like Rashard, what's up, Gavin Rashard, people like that, that's attorneys and stuff like that. We need to figure out how to author our own legislation, meaning we can write our own legislation and start getting the signatures with the people that's our own soldiers. You know what I mean? And our own legislation coming from our own words again. And stop just relying only on the people that's in the administration. And if you notice, Trump, his first term was don't know what that is in the background.
Yeah, I got it. That's a black job. Black man working a black job.
That's a good one, bro. That's a good one. But you know, Trump came in, and people didn't peep this, right? Because he actually was doing the job and the duty of a president, right? The highest office is that's the position for the people, right? And he's supposed to be a good mediator. So he came in on what is it that you need, right? No other president ever came in to the people and told them what you need. Tell me what you need. I'm not coming with a policy, right? Even though the executive position have multiple duties to do, dealing with foreign affairs, while you got the border and stuff like that, they dealing with those are federal things that they have to deal with foreign and domestic affairs. But we are the people, so we should be the majority dealing with the intra-national affairs inside the United States of America, and stop relying only on these people. They built their power off of, you know what I mean, us not participating. So many of us say, "Oh man, I don't want this government. This government." I thought you said your people built this government. Granted, we have some intruders that came in and slid their way into the government, and they didn't. I'm saying it. This is no opinion. There's no opinion of anybody on this panel or this platform. But a lot of collusion has been going on, and not enough brave enough people is speaking out on this collusion that's been going on. You know, on a local, state, and federal level.
That's facts. Nothing but collusion. Nothing but, and that's selling. That's the sellout, though. You know, that's the sellout crowd. But yeah, we did make our own legislation, man. Then I mean that's basically carrying out what the Constitution is all about. And see, just like, for example, the Second Amendment, they try to make it seem like it's just the right to bear arms, but it's really actually the right to bear arms against a tyrannical government. So, you know what I mean? It's a lot of little gray areas and a lot of little stuff that, you know what I mean? That, you know, if you keep listening, like you said, a lot of the demographics, especially of the older people, they listen to the mainstream media. They pop it on, you know, with their coffee in the morning. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just a repetitive thing, you know what I mean? A ritualistic thing with them. And that's sad too, because, you know, you're supposed to be looking up to the elders and stuff like that, man. And if they're coming at it from that aspect.
No, they'll argue down, brother.
They call them the olders, not the elders. They're the olders. The olders.
Yeah, the olders.
They're not elders.
Right. Elders are going to be leading and guiding you.
That's right. They olders.
They're giving you the good stuff. But yeah, the olders. Older.
Oh, as Jason said, oh, niggas.
There you go. Oh, niggas. And give you guys the independent media. This is going to be history. I hope y'all document this. I know a lot of people are podcasters and digital creators.
Oh, yeah, because YouTube or Whitey, I call it Whitey. They like to kick us out the plantation every now and then. Whitey.
give all. This is history, bro. Independent media has possibly saved this country, bro. Because media is not media anymore.
Right.
They ain't supposed to be the media.
They propagandists.
It's non-biased news, but we haven't been getting that, bro. So
Obama signed that law, right? He signed that law or something.
Huh?
He signed a law that allowed these legacy media people to do propaganda.
Smith-Monk
Act. He signed something. What was it? Say it.
Smith-Monk Act.
Okay, there you go.
Smith-Monk Act, yeah.
So
that was in like
Obama's the problem.
You know what? When that happened, he also had put that in the National Defense Authorization Act around that time, where they started holding people without habeas corpus and all that other type of stuff too. They were doing that was a whole lot of things that Obama was slipping in.
Yeah, that's un-American, bro.
Bill Clinton with the FCC, right?
Bro. That's
Bill Clinton with the FCC.
Yep.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, Bill Clinton with the FCC. It's like Democrats doing all this. Democrats. And we love them.
12 of the last 16 years, right? Yeah. What does that tell you? And I mean, what is this actually, you know what I'm saying, under these administrations, what has it actually got us? Nothing. You see what I'm saying? And Obama was the biggest deception. You know what I'm saying? That's why there's a book called The Obama Deception. That dude was the biggest deception to us, man. You see what I'm saying? And but at the same time, right, and they was going to try to pull, you know, the 2.0 again with her. You see what I'm saying? Basically him winning a wig, right? You see what I'm saying? And then the thing is, the crazy thing about it, her people are from Hawaii like his, I mean, excuse me, he didn't live. He lived in Hawaii. She lived in Canada. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, his mom, his daddy is African. Her mom is Hindu.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like they did the great switcheroo with us, man. They really did. And at the same time, I don't think a lot of us really fell for it. You know what I think? To be honest with you, I think a lot of these numbers that they're trying to say with the so-called black men and women, I think they're misconstrued. They're trying to say a lot of more people vote for them than what they did. They're just blowing up the numbers. A lot of us wasn't going. A lot of us weren't even voting like that. Let's just keep it real. You see what I'm saying? It's in a lot of them swing states. I seen how it was. So I mean, I don't want to hear it, man. You know, and they're gonna blame us on the so-called black man this, black man that. You know what I'm saying? Well, shoot, the white man wasn't messing with her. The Hindu man wasn't messing with her. The Filipino man wasn't messing with her. Nobody.
White women. Where the white women at? Where the white women at? They over there with Trump.
Yeah, what is?
Where the white women at? Women empowerment. That's right.
Black
Stand by their man.
Yeah,
that's right.
Stand by their man.
But you know, but white women don't bash their man. Like, you know, what other group bash their men? I ain't saying all sisters do it, but I'm saying what, and the fact that Kamala Williams stand by a black man. She married to, and you know what's weird? Have anybody noticed when New York Times will report on Kamala Harris, they will say Miss Harris. They wouldn't even say Mrs. Harris. They would say Miss Harris. They wouldn't even say Mrs. Harris Imhoff, Miss Harris, like she wasn't married. Look at the New York Times. That's the paper record, right?
Give you that city girl vibe. You know what I'm saying? Give you that single independent woman vibe, man. I'm telling you.
Right.
Yeah. That's what that is, man.
But I got one last thing. I want to be blamed for making sure Trump won. I did vote for him as well. I don't care. It's primarily white women and Latinos that did it, but we got 23%. They can blame us all they want, and we're gonna do 50 or 60% next time if you keep trying to push us. Because like I'm not gonna feel shamed about an Indian woman that's married to a white man.
But that 23%, but you know we did win that for
call
Trump.
him Israeli Mossad. Call him Israeli Mossad.
But we won that. Look, the Democrats, the only way they would have won this election if they got 90% and up on the black vote. By us giving up that 23, whatever we gave up, they didn't win. We are powerful. We don't know how powerful we are. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We have been the most consistent voting bloc for the Democratic Party for 60 years. And they trying to replace us, and they never gave us nothing for our efforts and for our support. And now we got Stockholm syndrome. And like I said, sometimes in order to save our people, you got to be looked at as the villain. I'm willing to play my villain role, like Kobe did with the Black Mamba, right?
One girl say they're gonna lose their DEI jobs, or they're gonna have to be. Hey, what I'm saying, they got women talking about they're gonna have to go back and be slaves to men again. Like, what kind of crazy shit?
What are y'all talking?
Yeah,
they really kill me. This
I think the funniest is the View. The funniest is the View. They got to be the most funniest, dramatical. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're so full of it, especially Sunny Halston. What's her name? Sunny. That's her name.
Oh, on the View.
They're so full of it, man, boy. But see, that's the thing. So, a Democrat president issued the propaganda again, and so now all the and these news stations are propaganda armed. So it goes hand in hand. You know, they issued out their propaganda. Barack Obama was the legislation that he pushed. So you can push legislation on propaganda, but no legislation, no tangibles for us. What that says a lot. You see what I'm saying? He's doing it.
I'm tired of the brothers. He said, "Look, the brothers don't want to see
Operation Mockingbird."
That's what Obama told them brothers, that you don't want to see a woman. At least he said in Philadelphia.
We don't want to see that woman. We don't want to see that woman.
Well, now he
didn't earn that spot as the president. No, I don't want to deal with her. It's like Hillary Clinton. I couldn't imagine, because Hillary Clinton got that voice where take out the garbage. Take out the garbage. I got to hear that every day. Take out the garbage. I don't even hear what she actually saying. She got that nagging voice and got the echo and stuff.
I got a question. You know something that was good to me though? They wasted a whole damn week talking about now Gavin do comedy. They wasted a whole a week talking about a damn comedian joke at at the Madison Square Garden. Now check this out. All you gotta do is put up articles on trash on Puerto Rico. It's been going on since the Bush Obama administration, man. And you can find out there's a lot of trash on Puerto Rico. So comedians tell truth in their jokes. So
Yeah.
for them to waste a whole week talking about that made no sense.
No.
That's
But like I
because they
said,
had nothing, Bernard. They had nothing, bro. This woman, bro, they didn't have enough decency for their own constituents to run a legitimate. They really did this in their own constituents' face, bro. And the people was going along with it. The old switcheroo.
Right.
Joe Biden and Donald Trump had already debated, and they pulled this. But we called this a couple of years ago. We had already called that they was going to pull this move off.
No.
And they literally, I'm talking about, we literally called it play for play, and they still ran the same play, bro.
You know what they should have did though? I thought they was going to do this. This would be the October surprise. They should have let Joe Biden step down because of health reasons and put Kamala in place. Because like Gerald Ford said it best, like, you know, when a young girl asked him, a school age girl, would there ever be a woman president? He said, you know, basically it can be one, it may be one, but it's gonna be under special circumstances. Like the president has to die and she was vice president or something like that. She won't be elected. She won't be
Trump pulled a Grover Cleveland. Grover Cleveland. So
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And,
one lost one and then won again. So
yeah, and Trump is a throwback to them robust presidents from the late 19th century. He's a Grover Cleveland, William McKinley type. And he's like William McKinley because he's trying to put them terrorists on their ass. He putting them to the tariff king. He like, you know, you ain't gonna come in here and trick off of us. You making us the tricks and the simps of the world economy. You want to pay some taxes. And they trying to repeal, you know, sources. So what? Taxes on social security and taxes on tips. And they trying to repeal the income tax. Because if you charge them enough tariffs, and my thing about the United States is crazy. How is China my enemy when I go to Sam's and Walmart?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who stuff on where that stuff coming from? Made where? And they buying real estate near military bases. They the enemy. You see how type of crap they be running on us?
Yeah.
On the ports, the toll roads. I heard they're on the toll roads out here in California. Some of them. That's what I heard. China. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've heard.
I think they own like a post office, some type of postal stuff too, or something. If I'm not mistaken, in Texas, something like that. I'm not 100% clear on that one though.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, yeah, man. Hey, like I said, we got to figure out how to make these moves right, man. Don't fumble the bag this time. People that fumbled, like I said, the first time, he was kind of unsure. You know, Donald Trump got in. He was like, man, what's up with this cat? Then it kind of, you know, it was rough when he first got in the first time. Then it started trying to, you know, it was rough the first time, bro. Everybody was like, get them son of a bitches off the field. Like, hold on, player.
Right. When he was talking all that, man,
I think Dominique is mad with us, man.
Okay, Dominique, you come back in. You're a black man working. Black man working. What's up, man? You got anything to say? Dominique?
Oh, yeah, what's going on?
You got anything to add, man? We about to wrap it up. You got anything to add? I know you black man working, man. You got to focus on your job. I understand,
Dominique
bro.
building a shelf.
So what again?
You got anything you want to add to the discussion before we wrap it up?
Well,
go ahead, brother.
I am disappointed in the election, though. But I mean, I guess we got to give Donald Trump a chance. I guess. I mean, I really want Kamala to win, though. You know.
Okay, you're the only one, bro. There's a lot of black folks feeling like that right now.
Yeah.
Look at that,
man. It's nice to have a troll, though, man. You know, sometimes you gotta have some fun, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
But I never like he said he never got disrespected by a Trump supporter. I've been getting disrespected by Kamala Harris supporters. My own preacher who baptized me, he unfriended me on Facebook twice. What? He disrespected Trump supporters. Yeah, I gave man. I spent thousands of dollars giving him a plaque to honor him as a pioneering music producer and gospel. I didn't know that until a couple years ago that he was a pioneer in gospel music production. And I went to congratulate him because the NPR did a special on him. And to find out I was unfriended by him, and he was talking about Trump supporters.
Hey, brother.
Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Do you know if Thaddeus Matthews supported Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
No, with Thaddeus Matthews trying to, you know, he got health problems. I don't know what's going on with that. He trying to take care of his health right now, and he been posting stuff about the election. I don't know which way he actually leaning, you know, because we got The only pastor in Memphis, I think, is like, he's wild with it, but I respect him because he's been consistent on his stance. Is Bishop A.L.L. Williams. He got that church with the Statue of Liberation through Christ in the front lawn.
Okay.
It was on New York Times and all this stuff. But his brother actually did the eulogy for Aretha Franklin and her father. It's a Memphis minister. He's been consistent about his support in Trump and stuff like that, and against the agenda. And he has a large following. But other ministers in the city, they on Facebook having emergency prayer sessions. They telling the doors of the church is open. You want to cry and vent and fuck. I said, man, bro, this ain't the right look, man. We should be about the business of getting our stuff in order, man. Because Donald Trump ain't God like that. God has the final say in everything. But it's like what Malcolm X said. He said the Negro Revolution is controlled by foxy white liberals and the government, but the Black Revolution is controlled by God. We are God's people. It's in God's hand, and we got the power within to determine our situation. I don't look at this as a death sentence to the people. I look at this as a blessing. It's like, for example, I'm gonna close it out and let y'all speak. Like a couple weeks ago, I was in a position they were trying to cut my toe off. I was in this hospital for a whole week. I had 4 to 5 doctors every day starting at 6 o'clock in the morning telling me you must cut your toe off, your big right toe. It's like, I don't know these guys. I know my toe for 44 years. I only met them for 44 seconds every day. I don't know them like that, but they telling me I should make these decisions. You look at doctors, they wear white coats like butchers. You go to the meat market, whatever, they got on white coats. Doctors got on white coats. They love to cut on you. And once they start cutting on you, they don't stop. Because they say, oh, you got a sickness, I'm going to cut your nose off. You got a cold, I'm going to cut your nose off. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to cut this, cut that off. So I had to fight. And I didn't know I had that in me to stand. I said, wait a minute, before y'all go to that extreme, what are my other alternatives? They said, well, you could do the antibiotic treatment and stuff like that for 6 weeks. Can we try that before we declare war? Because if you are a diplomat, why would you declare war when you try to negotiate peace? Should war be the last thing you go to? Should cutting a person up like a piece of meat should be the last option? But when you Black, we don't supposed to have any feelings or rights. We supposed to, because I wear a white coat and I say so. Or like, because I'm white and I say so. So my thing is, I stood up against that, and come to find out, I did not have a bone infection in my foot. So they was willing to cut my foot off, and the Black doctor that was willing to cut my foot off or cut part of my feet off was the Kamala Harris supporter. And the doctor who saved my toe is a Trump supporter. He wanted to make my big right toe great again. So this is where we at, people. And there was a Black doctor who he looked at the toe, I'm going to cut it off. He came in my room like Dr. Death. In the middle of the night, I'm going to cut that toe off. I said, you ain't. Wait a minute, doc. We're going to talk about this. And I don't know. I'm glad I wasn't on no type of heavy sedation. But I had the Trump supporter who was my foot doctor on speed dial. He gave me his personal number. He was on vacation. He said, I'm glad you called me because they're going to make a mistake cutting your toe off. So they didn't give a damn. It wasn't a mistake. And I told one of the med students that came to my room every day that once you start cutting on people, y'all don't stop. The lead doctor came to my room before they discharged me. He said, I heard what you told my medical student, the intern. I told him it was true what you said. That we do keep on cutting on you. It's like Get Out too, man. I had to get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Hey, Ron.
I won't wish it on anybody.
Have more pedals like this, Ron, and talking about these issues because a lot of our people are going into these institutions and leaning too much on the institution instead of our own information and knowledge, man. We got to do the work. We can't just rely on it. As you can see, these last 4 years, we cannot just allow on these institutions alone, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh, everybody know who the person is, dog. You know what I mean? Somebody named the guy in the chat. Oh my God. I said too much. They gonna get me. Go ahead, Shaq. I don't mean to cut you off. I said too much.
You somebody named you in the chat. They trying to
you tell the truth. But you know what? But I'll tell people, I don't care how bad it look, get you a 5, 6, 30 opinions, man. Before you make a life altering cut. Your big toe is your bouncing toe. I have to relearn how to walk again. And they just thought, well, fuck it, cut your toe off and send you on your way.
Yeah. I wanted to put out something. Guess what? My big toe got stumped probably about a month and a half ago. I was out there playing basketball, right?
Yeah, this is not repeat, y'all. People saying it's repeat. This is an actual live show. Go ahead.
Now look, check this out. How about the whole toenail? My whole toenail came off today. No,
It happens.
toenail came off. I got a new toenail, but that ain't nothing but them telling you to amputate, and then you didn't or cut your toe and you didn't have to. That's a serious problem going on with the medical profession. So where would your toe went to? What were they using it for? Medical research?
Yeah, it might have made a lot of money off, right? Because it was a research institution. So they had medical students come in the first day. They had me in my room like I was a zoo animal. I ain't mind it. I said, cool. They was trying to learn. But that bedside manner, man. Like we think that because they say something, that means it's right. They will tell me out. They was trying to use fear. And I had this Dick Gregory quote in my head before I got to the hospital. I heard Dick Gregory telling me a free man is a man who has no fears. A free man is a man who. I heard that every day. Dick Gregory voice tell, because they got Dick Gregory in the hospital. They got Dr. Sabi. They got what Dr. Africa. See, you know, people talking about eating all this stuff. This is about they get you any type of way. These guys were all about good health, and look how they ended up. Steve Coakley. How they get Steve Coakley? I'm just saying, it's the concentration camp. Stay your ass out the hospital. Stay out the hospital.
What's your buddy name? Dr. Short? Yeah, shout out to him.
Dr. Randy Short. He going through something right now.
Yeah. I heard he's been talking about it. So shout out to him. Yeah. So what I'm saying, it just seemed like they've been attacking. You know, look here, man. I'm just telling you, they could. That's why I said sometimes we go to these hospitals. You don't know if you coming out there or not when you go. Because hey, man, like you said, white coat, butcher coat.
Same thing.
You're trying to butcher your toe, right? Yeah, I'm like, damn, right? I'm like, man, hey, look, I'm just asking. Were you about to use Ron Hurd's toe for some to make that part of that new McChicken, that ground beef?
They're gonna make some vibranium. They're gonna make some vibranium, man.
You'll be put that motherfucker in the Smithsonian.
But you know what? You know what's crazy though? They had the MRI that was messed up. The technician knew he messed up the MRI, and they went ahead. They said they were basing their observations on the MRI. They had it wasn't clear, and they're gonna make they want me to make a life-changing choice on an MRI that wasn't clear, that was sketchy.
What the hell?
Yes,
right.
Wow. They done got your best.
And y'all need to start saying, let me get a second, or third, or fourth, or fifth, or sixth opinion. Stop letting these folks jam you up, thinking you got to do something. You know your body better than they do. Yeah. Get a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever it takes until you get something that I ain't saying if you know, like I said, I was willing to get my toe cut off if I needed to, you know, but I want to see what the other options were. And you know what was crazy? All he had to do was debride my toe, which is to cut off the dead tissue. And they wanted to put me under for that. And I had, you know, work on my feet before from that same doctor who wanted to cut my toe off. He always did it in the office where he just cut on the toe. He'll numb it and he'll cut. He tried to use an anesthesiologist to put me under. I said, wait a minute, we didn't agree to this, doc. You say you were gonna do this in my hospital room. They dragged me into them operating room and got me it's like a scene from ER or Grey's Anatomy. I said, wait a minute, we would do this in your office in South Memphis. And you would just cut off the dead tissue and stuff and wound dress it. He said, hey, why you got to put me under for that?
Remember you came here? And we went to
that Mama place, that chicken soul
Mama J. Yeah. You came in June 2021. Hey, Shaq, man, came out. We went down there. I said, come on, Ryan. You might go anyway. Come on, let me get you something to eat, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I came out of Richmond. That's like going to Purgatory from Northern D.C. and Northern Virginia. That's like a long drive.
Hey, look. Check this out,
Canterbury man. Tales and shit. Go ahead.
That was funny. But
he saved my foot. Yeah, he worked on my left foot. That doctor that was trying to cut my big toe off my right, he saved my left foot.
Well, you had the cast on. Remember I asked you what was going on?
Yeah, I had the walking cast. Yeah.
You walk with the cast then. So I thought that thing had long been, healed or straight. I know you said
that one was cool. I mean, he had an issue, but my thing is this: people can't be afraid because anything can happen to you at any time. Like they're trying to sell me a can of good. I say, okay, let's say if you had a cancerous tumor and they cut the tumor out, they got the good margins where they cut a little bit of the healthy tissue around the cancer tumor. There's no guarantee they got the whole cancer out. So you taking a chance either way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can either do it or don't do it. You still, because you can walk across the street and get hit by a car. Anything can happen to you at any time. You can't be afraid of death like that because death is not the end. I love hanging in cemeteries and praying to saints and stuff. And I was praying to a sister, Sister Thea, who's on her way to becoming the saint in the church. She's buried in South Memphis in the Elmwood Cemetery. I will go there when I have health issues, and I'll meditate and pray. I promise you, sometimes that wind will pick up, that sun will start beaming. I hear a woman's voice telling me what to do. And I do some of the things she tell me. I know it sounds crazy, but she tell me, and it'll save my life. And I believe she is like, they need to recognize her as soon as possible.
Well,
and that's a black woman from Mississippi, by the way. Who Sister Act is probably based on. The movie Sister Act is probably based directly on her life.
She used to visit our church when I was very little. I don't remember, but yes.
And she was a powerful black woman. She died of cancer-related issues back in March 30th, 1990.
Right. Henriette DeLeo probably be the she's closer actually because she's what's called venerable because it starts with servant of God, then venerable.
Yeah, it made her servant of God in 28. But I tell you, I already got several miracles attributed to Sister Thea. Yeah. And that's another story altogether. And I talked to people that work with her, who train with her and stuff. But like I said, I'll go there, and I had the doctor said I had a kidney issue. They thought I would have the early stages of kidney disease. This is around Christmas of 2022, and I went to a kidney specialist. They did an ultrasound, they did blood work and everything. But when I heard the doctor say we wanted to get you tested, I went to Sister Thea's the next day. And I called it Thea's place where she's buried at, and I prayed. And that wind kicked up, that sun started beaming on me. And this woman's voice told me what to do. It was like this faint woman voice said, this is what you do. And I remember I told the kidney specialist, what if I did this and that? Would that help? He said, no, they'll make it worse. And I did it anyway. I listened to what the voice told me to do. When I came back for my follow-up, it was clear. He was like, what happened? I don't know what happened. Like, it's like, you good. Your kidneys are really good. Ain't nothing wrong with them. I didn't tell him I was talking to some dead black woman. That she told me to do the stuff that he said I shouldn't do. So I'm saying you gotta develop an intuition. You gotta trust yourself.
Behind the scenes with their kidney thing, because there's a lot of people dealing with that, man. We need to have a conversation behind the scenes.
Yeah, I know but that's why black. They trying to take us out either way, man. And we making ourselves easy, soft targets, though.
That's true.
Yeah, but anything, you can't be afraid to live your life. Cause anything can happen to you at any time. Don't be afraid of that. That's why I'm learning as I get older. Just enjoy the moments. Even the bad times is really good if you can survive them. But that's your good times about, right?
True. Even the food nowadays. Look at the food that they're giving us, man.
Robert Kennedy is important though, right? Because you trying to get all that out the food. Because Mountain Dew is illegal in different countries. You can't serve Mountain Dew is like giving people illegal drugs in different countries. But in America, people drinking. I know a guy who drank Mountain Dew all the time. He had diabetes real bad, and he was a small dude. People think all diabetics are big people. He was a small, petite guy, but he didn't have health insurance, and they had to cut off some of his toes and stuff. Little small guy, but he used to drink Mountain Dew all the time like it was water.
Yeah, y'all remember when we was in school, right? I know we all kind of around the same age, you know what I'm saying? You know when, like, if you was playing sports or something, they took you to the school district, and they had this little conference on nutrition and stuff. When they came out and told us that year about Mountain Dew and other stuff, they said Mountain Dew lower your testosterone, bro.
It does. It been like I thought it was an urban legend, but that's true though.
Back then.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're doing this stuff and have these conferences now and really inform these children and stuff, young athletes, young people, about the nutrition stuff that's going on in their college and stuff, bro. That's a major fact. The reason why some of these young generations is acting the way they acting, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. The chemicals, right? Real talk. It's true. So like Robert Kennedy, he's gonna be powerful because it's hard to listen to his voice for some people, but I think God made it like this, so you got to really listen to what he's saying. When he did his speech to endorse Trump, he said a lot of powerful things about helping making America healthy again and stop them from making a chronic illness industry complex. Like they're not trying to heal people, they're just trying to, get money off the symptoms and treat that instead of getting the cure to the people. And so that's why I said Trump is bigger than Trump, man. Because he brought the people together, man. He brought a coalition of people to get them into office together, and then he got a coalition of a team of just different talented people like the Justice League or the Avengers or something, or the X-Men around him. It's gonna be amazing 4 years. But black folks, we gotta make sure that we have a place at the table. We got to demand a seat at the table and be about our business, and we gotta take care of ourselves and check in on each other like we're doing now. Cause I didn't expect to talk about this at the end, but we're gonna wrap this up. I won't keep but y'all closing thoughts. This is crazy. I was tell all my business, but it's all right. if it can help somebody, it's worth it.
Well,
Word.
Everybody,
For sure. Well, man, you know what I mean. Thanks for bringing me on your show, man.
it's an
Salute,
honor. Thank
salute,
you.
salute, BJ, for you know what I mean, for the meet and greet, man. I appreciate that. You know what I mean. But yeah, we got to be vigilant, man. We got to be definitely on it. Like you said, we got to have a seat at the table. We definitely have to set the stake. You see what I'm saying? And set it high. Demand certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like Shaq was just saying, is we really should be writing the policy. You see what I'm saying? And giving it to the politician. But whatever. You see what I'm saying? So when we're in this since we're in this style of you know what I'm saying, so-called democracy, whatever. If we play it by that, we still have to demand tangibles and just let them know that what we're demanding. You know what I mean? And just leave this last administration behind, man. And just let us know too. We have to come together as men and women because all they was pushing is gender divide, like the mainstream media, and you see certain ones of our people was falling for it. I don't think a lot, but certain people were, and it's just like it's just psychological warfare, man. At that point, if they know how to psychologically construct, you see what I'm saying, us not getting along and us going at each other, man, and anything to just to mess up our strong point, our stronghold, and what we're trying to do, man. Then they know they want. You see what I'm saying? So we definitely have to keep our eyes on the prize and definitely just to stay on it. But like I said, just demand certain things, man. Because at the same time, no matter who's in office, man, we should still be getting tangibles. Because you got people across the board. You got people coming into this country, man. They don't have any kind of documentation. You see what I'm saying? And they're getting tangibles. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but you see what I'm saying? $15,000, $20,000 with food stamp and cash aid is tangibles to certain people. You see what I'm saying? Well, I mean, people like the people that need it. Excuse me.
That's right.
People that need it, and there's a lot of our people that need that. And so we know the benign neglect is up, man. So you know what I'm saying? They and the symbolism is up. So we just got to let them know, and then just just swing hard, man, and show a hard demonstration. But at the same time, who the Congressional Black Caucus, people like that, we got to get them out of there. That's first and foremost. People like that, a misrepresentation got to go. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. And see, we all have to be on one accord and on knowing that that's the enemy, straight up, because that's the enemy. See what I'm saying? People like Karen Bass is the enemy. You see what I'm saying? People like Clyburn is the enemy. I'm sorry. You see what I'm saying? So, but it looks like some of these youngsters and some of these Gen Z young men and women are starting to really starting to see too, and we just got to really keep letting them know, and letting them know. Like I said, we got to keep our eyes on the prize, man, and no matter who's in there, man, demand tangibles, man, and demand legislation. And if, like Shaq said, if we got to write it, so be it. But we got to be on one accord. You see what I'm saying? And, yeah, man. That's what I think about this situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, you're right. I can say this: it's easier said than done when you talk about getting rid of the Congressional Black Caucus. Because look at Chicago. Chicago stayed blue, and they had that Chicago Red movement that was flip Chicago Red. That didn't help out. It didn't work this time, at least. Chicago. And I mean, look, Chicago's going bankrupt. The mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, is talking about raising property taxes. He had ran a campaign saying he wasn't going to do that. And that's causing problems right now with the city of Chicago. They've lost money with putting stuff with these migrants. Same stuff in New York that you're noticing. The mayor up there is getting in trouble, Eric Adams. A lot of these problems that we see, and we got to be honest, is starting with these Democratic mayors. They have not been effective, even in the state and the House of Representatives. They haven't been effective. Not to say that the Republicans have been good either. They haven't done a great job with reaching out to real folks, real people. But what we saw with Trump and why we're seeing that is the blue party, as that sister said earlier, they just went too far to the left and they've lost us. They've lost the working man. And the patronizing of black men is over. the finger waving is over with. The old Negroes getting in your face. You better do this. You gotta go out and vote on him. You know, they had I saw some 80-year-old pastor. They had some old Negro go out with his cane. I got to say this, and it's not me beating up on Elder, but you know, he marched with Dr. King and saying Kamala Harris is prevalent. O'Shea New Jackson did the video about it and said the guy was saying, "Well, I don't think nobody wants to vote for her because it's misogyny." You old ass, you are out of touch. Nobody wants to vote for this woman because she's a bad candidate. She stunk. She had no policy. She couldn't talk. When he asked her a straight question, you couldn't get a straight answer. If it wasn't a prepared speech, she was horrible. Obama was like that at one point. He couldn't answer straight questions at times. You got to think on your feet with this stuff.
Well, let me say something. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's funny because the best speech I heard from Kamala Harris was the one today, the consensus speech.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was good. It was better.
I was thinking the same thing, man.
Yeah,
she didn't do it last night. She didn't do it last night because she didn't have time to prepare.
She thought she was gonna win.
Yeah.
There was no gig. There was no gig.
She left all those students. She had all those students at Howard waiting up for her.
They shouldn't have showed up because she left them out. I'm glad it won't go.
Yeah. She ain't gonna do nothing special for black people. She said, no, not even for Howard. No.
John McCain actually, when he lost to Obama, he made a concession speech right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when she waited till 4:00 today,
she's so a loser.
And then
It
came
took
out
her like
late.
2 hours to get on stage. It took like 2+ hours. You know, they were streaming it.
Man,
and the speech was less than 20 minutes. It was less than 20 minutes. Like,
hey, wait a minute, man. They were playing Glorilla out there. They were playing My President is Black.
They had a good playlist. It was a good playlist. It was a good playlist.
They were jamming out that junk. I said, yo, what the hell is going on? All this for a concession speech. They landed. I thought that concession speech about an hour as long as they was out there. And playing music.
I'm telling
you,
that.
Shaq, got. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. Oh, is it Shaq? You got anything to offer before we get out of here?
Yeah. Don't be a left nut or a right nut. You know. That's what I call them. These left nuts out here and these right nuts out here, bro. They dangerous. Keep your eye on the swivel, bro. You know what I mean?
I like that. That's good.
Yeah,
that's
good.
All
I got,
especially what they have like
people in the chat too, bro.
Yeah, especially for like what January the 6th and what's the other date?
January
like them
20th.
Dates.
January 20th.
January 20th and the 6th, right? Where they do the
December 17th.
December 17th, right.
December 16th, yeah, when the electoral college, they what's the name?
Okay.
Yeah.
And our brother Dominique, I guess black man working. Black man working. You got anything to add? Black man working.
Yeah, I'm working.
Yeah, I know you working, bro. You working hard. I'm gonna say you got anything. We close it out. You got anything you want to add?
What again?
You got anything you want to add?
Oh no, I don't have anything on that. I'm just listening to y'all talk. That's all. I'm just listening.
Now, you like this stuff. He the cussing pastor, one of his super fans. So he likes stuff like that. We ain't do enough cussing for him tonight, but yeah, Dominique, good people. I met him at a Dick Gregory MLK the 3rd event for MLK Day in Nashville back in 2016.
Yeah,
and
2015.
Huh?
I met Bill Cosby in 2015.
Yeah, you the lucky guy. You meet everybody. He's one of the guys. He got pictures for everybody. But anyway, he's a good guy. He got a good spirit about him. A good young man. And he been trying to connect with me online and stuff like that. And he wasn't disrespectful. He was just shocked that I voted for Trump, let alone 3 times. And I just want to get him on here, not trying to bash him or nothing like that, but to give him a little different perspective from other black men. And also, I mean, he's open to learning, so I respect that. You're definitely a good sport. Thank you, Dominique. Black man, keep on working. I'm gonna get you out of here.
That black job, right? That black job.
He got a black job. But I also just want to say, we talk about the power of independent media, podcasts, and stuff like that. Donald Trump got in because of us.
Right.
I made a lot of
Correct.
money in 2016, and then they start, soon he got in, they start shutting down free speech on the platforms because they knew there was alternative voices that helped Donald Trump get in. So
But you know
even in
this.
2016 and 2017, they start taking down videos of mine in 2018, and they
Man, just like
demonetized me
subscribe
last
to
year.
some
See,
videos
that's
of
what I
me
want
and
to ask.
you.
That's what I want to ask. Y'all, okay? So y'all think he gonna do anything about the censorship campaigns,
Oh
especially on
yeah,
social
definitely.
media?
Yeah.
Because she was. But you notice, I noticed when Trump was in, I didn't experience none of this censorship. So I noticed that. But see, he did a couple things. The Biden administration did a couple things with the censorship. You see what I'm saying? So
They worked with Zuckerberg. He
They were
confessed to
working
that.
with
They reached out to
Facebook,
him.
yep,
and I'm
yep.
pretty,
Yeah, they
Facebook,
reached out to
and I'm pretty
Zuckerberg.
sure they were doing it with YouTube too.
yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. They deplatformed Alex Jones out of social media. Back, see, I told people they get Alex Jones. Who they got in there? They get Farrakhan, but they got Alex Jones first because he was one of the biggest supporters. He played the role that Joe Rogan and other podcasters played this time for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a marketing genius, but he knew that the power anytime they could deplatform a sitting president from Twitter. How is he Hitler? You think Hitler or Stalin would have been got deplatformed by
Point.
Twitter, by
Good
Jack
point.
Dorsey, by
Good point.
Facebook? You think Stalin and them would have stood for that? If he's such a dictator,
Good point.
when he
Right.
requested them get 10,000 National Guards sent on January the 6th, and they turned it down. If he's such a guy who planned the insurrection and all that crap. So my
I'm
thing
glad
about
you
Trump,
said that.
yeah, but I'm glad that he had the common sense to take control of the narrative. I wish Andrew White did that for Bill Cosby. I told Andrew White he should have did that for Dr. Bill Cosby. You trying to buy a network? Good, just did a podcast. He could have just did a couple podcasts, invest in people like Nicole and Gavin, who was doing the work for free for the love of the truth and tried to
Right.
advocate for Dr. Cosby. They didn't do that. Bill
Yep.
Cosby had the
That's
resources,
that's
but his
independent tweeters.
publicists
Yep.
didn't jump on it to control that narrative. And Trump had
Because
people he was counterpunching with. That's why Trump is such a brilliant marketing genius.
yeah. But see, these people, man, they like Gavin said, these people out of touch, and plus they was they want to get all the money for themselves. They don't want, you know what I mean, and that can backfire sometimes, especially in this technology, social media area. We need young techies, man, young black techies, man, and bro, this independent media, bro,
It's true.
yeah, we held it down, dog. We held it down. They came after us, bro. Bro, they
Oh yeah,
came
but
after us.
thank God the right person in office though. I think Trump would be more because Trump actually been the justices. He could identify with Young Thug and all them guys because he been through there. And like the mayor of New York, he hoping that Trump won so he probably get pardoned Eric Adams. Then Vince McMahon going through his Diddy issues, and his wife was serving as Donald Trump's head of the Small Business Association when he was in office. So Vince McMahon probably get a pardon from Donald Trump like Kodak Black and Lil Wayne guy, whatever. And even Jay-Z business partner got pardoned by Donald Trump. And people don't talk about this stuff.
You talking about Dame Dad? Who you talking about?
Nah, the lady who runs this stuff at Rock Nation or something.
I forgot.
The drug queen pin allegedly.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm saying Donald Trump did like he pardoned Jack Johnson when Barack Obama was scared of his black shadow. And I believe that Jack Johnson came back through Donald Trump because Donald Trump got identified with Jack Johnson through the sexual allegations. I never seen a president in my life get treated like this. And Donald Trump came out on top. So he got to be one of the all-time greats based on what he had to face to get back. He ran the greatest presidential campaign in history, had the greatest political comeback in history. How he's not going to be an all-time great? How? And you look at what he did with opposition in his cabinet. Now he got a team of rivals. Like you got Vivek, you got Elon, you got Tulsi, you got RFK Jr., you got several other people that have yet to make the same that we know of. This is going to be an amazing time to be alive, but black folks got to seize the moment and make the most of it. Because like Dr. King said in Memphis, we as a people shall get to the promised land. So that does it for it. I mean, we good. I don't want to keep y'all too long, but thank y'all for hanging out tonight with me. I just had to, I said I could talk about it, but I want to talk about it with some brothers who ain't afraid to be men in a time that men are needed, especially black men. 10 toes down.
And I'm gonna bring you back on when they bring me on punishment.
Man, they removed videos we did 4 years ago, bro.
I know, right?
They removed like stuff Dr. Short. That's why I can't have nobody on. They still removing videos. The Judge Joe Brown video, Dick Gregory. This stuff is insane.
But see, I mean, the thing is too. I mean,
I've been banned for
where's
months.
it in the I mean, where is it in any of this this language though? You know what I'm saying? That they could actually do this. And I don't like when you dispute stuff with them and they don't even break it down. They'll just say, oh, hate speech. You see what I'm
But it's
saying?
not hate speech,
Like
right?
they don't give you no kind of detail. Oh, man, it's just, I don't know, man.
Well, it's when you tell the truth, that's why it's hate speech. They can hate the
Right.
truth. Like on fact check is all about keeping lies. They not fact checking, they about lie keeping. That's how it be, man. But we in the info wars. You know what I'm saying? Information is knowledge, and knowledge is the currency of the universe. So we on the front lines of this, but we should never be discouraged. Should always be encouraged, because you got to understand that if they doing all this to stop you, you think you might not be reaching nobody. I promise you, I walk around the country and be surprising that people recognize my voice or my face, or whatever. And I can have a beard or no beard or whatever. They recognize the laugh. Oh, you Brother Run. I said, damn, y'all know me. I'm in Brooklyn with automatics, and that's Brother Run. Well, I'm in L.A. I remember I had a college classmate who was at USC campus, and I told him, it was a white guy I went to school, Joe Dunlin. I said, man, I bet them black folks know who I am. I was just being cocky and stuff. It was my first time out, one of my first times out in L.A. And I walked up to the table. I said, hey, I want to introduce myself. And the dude was with this beautiful sister. I thought she was Ethiopian, but she's from here. He said, that's Brother Ron, baby. That's Brother Ron. We all be. And the dude looking shocked. I didn't know they're going to do that. I didn't pay for them to do that. But that's the power we have. We think that we nobodies, but we somebody to somebody. They got us on that list, or they got me on the list. I know that somewhere. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning out to tune in to get in where you fit in. Like Dr. King said, human salvation lies in the hands of the creatively maladjusted. And I'm a proud officer in the creatively maladjusted army. And I hope you join me, my brothers in arms, as we fight these things. Because, you know, the marathon does continue. And this is not the end. This is only the beginning. Because we all be in it to win it. All right.
Anytime,
God bless y'all.
Panels.
Peace. Salute.
All right, you sissified punks. We out. We out. Van Jones, you crying like you Hillary's co-tech, you sissified punk.
Yeah, Van Jones embarrassing us, man. He's daddy from Memphis, from Orange Mound, man. Like that.
Yeah.
Man,
I see why Jimmy Carter's wife left your dog meat, left your stupid ass. I'm out this bitch. Don't let me get mad. I'm out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it. And that does it for tonight, people. Yes, it was definitely serious. Thank you for tuning out to tune in to get in where you fit in. Yep. And thank you, Sister Yvette. It's one of South Memphis finest. Thank you for your support. And thank y'all for donating. And y'all who will be donating, Sister Betty, thank you for your donation. King Bernard, thank you for your donation. Like the words from Brother Herb, please spread the word. You can always cash out your support, $sign R2C2H2. Also PayPal, Google Pay, and Zelle your support at email r2c2h2@gmail.com. You can Vimo at r2c2h2, Applecast 901-299-4355, or join the patreon.com/we all be. And also, you could do what's this? You could, mail your support. You could mail it in to our official P.O. box. If I can find it here. Made it out to Ronald Hurd II. Attention, Ronald Hurd II. The We All Be Group Incorporated, P.O. Box 752-062, Memphis, Tennessee 38175. Thank y'all. And y'all continue to stay alive like Johnny 5. And we all be out this piece. You heard me? Thank y'all so much. And that's the word from Brother Hurd. And until next time. Knowing the words of the late, great Duke Ellington, we love you madly and keep on producing and pushing. One love.